Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 69 of the X Button Gaming Podcast. On this episode, we have some special guests. We're going to get cozy here at the X Button Gaming Hub, and we're going to talk about what we've been playing with a highlight on cozy gaming. And to join me today, I have three returning guests, two previous cozy game guests. We have I was trying to think of a clever word. Whatever. We have Hanna.
Yay, it's me.
The Hanna. And then we have the Kristine.
Woo.
Back after a little over a year. Ooh. And we have the Jessi, the Lady Rossignol.
Here I am.
Back after 3 months, right? 3 months? Was the Animal Crossing one?
I think so. Yeah, August.
Yeah. Long already?
Yeah, time flies. Huh. Really too fast sometimes. But thank you all for joining me. This got put off a couple times. I think going forward, come fall time, especially like October, November, I might just plan a hiatus because every year the depression gets really bad this time of year. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I struggle with focusing on anything other than work. And even that's a struggle. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
You know what could help with that is cozy gaming.
Yeah. There was no lack of gaming that I did. And it helps, but man, sometimes being social is not my favorite thing, which for an extrovert is kind of strange. Mm-hmm. But enough of that. Enough of that humdrum talk. How have you guys been?
So good.
So good.
So good.
Christine, how about you?
You know.
I don't see you as much as I used to.
It's true. You would have seen me sooner if we did this
Done this
podcast.
a month ago. Like we're supposed to. That's true. It's all on me. Jessi, good?
I've been good. Loving the fall leaves. It's beautiful.
It is. I had to go to Buckley today, and that drive, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that drive, but when you come up the hill going into Bonnie Lake, that area there was like gorgeous. All the trees there were changing color. And
is that where you go up the hill and there's like the valley below you?
Yeah, the Sumner Valley.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty drive in general because you're going up towards Mount Rainier. So for anybody who's not from the area, Mount Rainier is a very big mountain. It's an active volcano, actually, but it hasn't blown yet, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But that drive up there, as you're going that direction, is just gorgeous. Bonnie Lake isn't all that great. Sorry, Bonnie Lakers. I worked there for a while, so. But anyway, so today's episode is going to be pretty chill. We're keeping it cozy, like I said, and we're just going to talk about what we've been playing with a highlight on cozy games because I think most everybody's been playing a lot of cozy games, but not just cozy gaming per se. So let's go ahead and get into it and start talking about what we've been playing. And we didn't talk about who was going to talk first. I forgot to assign somebody.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, go. And so
Jessi wins.
Jessi wins, so she goes first. Is that a victory or?
I'll go. So this one is not particularly a cozy game, but I picked up Stanley Parable, and because I really like games that have kind of witty humor. And games, I was discussing this with Jaden on the way here. I really love it when media subverts your expectation of what you think is going to happen. And so with Stanley Parable, I just love, no matter what you choose to do, there's always something like crazy that happens. So I really love that.
So, okay, I've heard of this game. If I'm not mistaken, is there a computer on the cover of the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a guy sitting at a computer, or maybe it's just his office computer.
That is the extent of my knowledge of this game. So what kind of game is it?
So there's a narrator, and he's telling you what's going to happen. And you can choose to follow what he says, or you can choose to do the exact opposite to his utter dismay.
Oh, so he actually responds when you do that? That's kind of cool. Yeah. So it's a little bit choose your own adventure?
Yeah, basically.
But with a sinister turn?
Yeah, because otherwise it's just an office walking sim.
Okay. That's actually pretty clever. I like the idea of that. This is a game that has come up a couple times recently. I want to say somebody else recently mentioned it.
Jaden,
was it Jaden?
Her husband?
Yeah.
Probably either Jaden or Ben.
And I feel like I've heard about it a couple times. Like somebody else recently on another podcast I was listening to, I think, mentioned it as well.
It's definitely like, it's not, I don't know. Would you say, I haven't played it, but like it's not like necessarily cozy, but it's definitely like an indie darling. Like a lot. It's very like beloved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. There are people who have played it and they did not get it, but I think they just don't like being mocked.
Yeah.
I love it when you mock me. Tell me how stupid I am again. So is it like a first-person view?
Yeah, it's a first-person view. Unlike Minecraft, you don't really see like your hands or anything. There's just kind of like a little circle for the like cross wire, so you can see what you can interact with. There's honestly not a ton of things you can interact with, but the things you can interact with will cause different things to happen, even on different playthroughs. Like it'll carry over sometimes what you
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's so when you do a different playthrough, are you starting the same game over with just some carryover of effects? Yeah. Okay. I was wondering if you were like playing a different character or something each time.
You're always Stanley.
Always, poor Stanley.
Yeah.
Stuck in this Groundhog Day. Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty interesting. Is it a game you would recommend to a lot of people? A specific?
Absolutely.
What about cozy gamers?
I sat down all of my friends because I wanted to see what route they would choose on their first playthrough. So I love watching other people play it because I'm a person, I don't love backtracking. I don't love having to repeat the same task over and over and over. I don't like grinding, but I will like, I played through probably like, I don't know how many endings there are, but I played through as many as I could find. And then I looked up a guide and played all the rest of the endings. Nice. And then proceeded to sit down all my friends and watch them play it, and I never got sick of it. It gets a little repetitive with the dialogue, but you can always just spam the button so that you don't have to listen to it talking.
How long
anymore.
is the game?
It really depends. It can be 5 minutes or it can be a couple hours.
Okay.
I'd say there's probably at least, I'm gonna guess, at least several hours that you could play through.
Okay. Nice.
Depending on all the endings you want to get.
Nice. I think I'll definitely play it at some point. I know it's like not only is it like a lot of people really, really like it, but like also the company that makes it is also making more and more cozy and indie games that are coming out. So I'm like, they'll be like, from the creators of the Stanley Parable, and I'm like, I should play that before I play this maybe. So
yeah, there's definitely nothing that'll make your heart pound. I'd say there's a few areas where it feels like, oh, is this going to be horror? But nothing ever jumps out at you. There's no jump scares, so it's very cozy in that way. Not stereotypically, it's not beautiful, but it's very fun.
Yes.
It sounds like a good game. It's definitely something I think I want to play too. I like being mocked. I enjoy it myself. So, Kristine, what about you? You think it's something you would try? Be honest.
Maybe not, just because I was talking about with Hanna before. I don't like playing games that are super short.
Oh, you want to get into a deep...
Yeah. When I get a game, I'm like, I want to be involved with this game for a while.
Wait. Are we at a hot take? Are we at a hot take right now?
Yes, I'm going to throw out my hot take.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with cozy games. They're too short.
They definitely can be.
Majority of the ones that I've seen are like, oh, like this looks cute. And then I'm like looking a little more. I'm like, this looks like it's like a 20-minute game and you're done.
Yeah. If they're like, for me, if they're like less than a movie length, it's hard for me to want to spend money on it. Mm-hmm. But then again, there have been ones that I've played where they have been that short and I'm like, this is great. Mm-hmm. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's all, for me, I'm right there. It's kind of like all in the feeling.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's a $60 game. I don't want it to be 2 hours. Like, I think back to when I bought the Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, and I was super excited for it. I got it at midnight, and I beat it in, like, literally 2 hours before I even went to bed. And I was like, the heck? I was so mad. Like, this game, that's too short. Then there's other games, like the Uncharted games are also short, but they have replayability, and, like, I like to go back to them, so I don't... And they're so good that it like, feels like it was worth it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sometimes the game's just disappointingly short.
Yeah.
That is a hot take, but I feel like it's a fair take. It's not too spicy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
that's that's a 1 on the spicy scale.
That's fair. I think I like games that are roughly 30 hours long.
You like RPGs.
Yeah.
I hear that. When you get a PS5 and you can play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you're in for a treat if you like long games.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it's like, you've talked about this on the podcast before about like games can be like an art form. And so like there are a lot of people who are like, I'm playing this as like an immersion, like an escape from reality. And like for some people, like, you know, they watch movies and like that's good, you know, or they'll watch a show. But like, I don't know. When I am escaping, I'm like, I don't know that I want to play through it. Like, I'm like, I just want to watch for 2 hours somebody do something. But then like, I don't know. Some of the 2-hour games are really great. I'm going to find some for you, Christine.
All right.
We're going to find you a great short game.
Yeah, a really, really good one. Please give Christine your very short, cozy recommendations.
I think four of my cozy games are like 4 hours or less.
Yeah, I think I brought some on here, and I'm like, that's why I was able to finish them and talk about them today.
Are you sure you just don't like being mocked? And that's why you don't want to play it?
No, that's also not the biggest thing for me.
It's not something you're drawn to?
Not usually.
All right. Well, I think the Stanley Parable seems fun. So next time you're on here, Jessi, we'll have all played it.
Oh, boy.
And we'll be able to talk about it.
Yes.
We'll
Tell me
mock
your
each
favorite
other.
endings.
Yeah.
I like the broom closet ending.
Oh.
For those who know.
Those in the know. No, we're not in the know. If you're in the know, let us know. Kristine, why don't you share one of your games that you've been playing?
Honestly, I haven't been playing. Oh, actually, I did start playing the. It's kind of cozy. I think it was on one of the.
It's okay.
It's on the Wholesome Direct, but like when I'm playing it, it stresses me out so much.
Oh no!
It's called Into the Emberlands. So I think the concept is like the world is covered in like. As I like to say miasma, but Hannah said I'm pronouncing it wrong.
I think it's miasma.
All right.
But
well,
I've heard both. I always say miasma, so
yeah. Well,
I
it's
don't
darkness.
know that I'm right,
it's like an aura.
Yeah. So you are like this little person in a village that's trying to. You get like a flame for your torch, and you're supposed to use that flame to travel out into the darkness to save people and expand your village to get bigger, so that you have more light. Mm-hmm. But you only get so many steps until you die.
So, like, is that when your light runs out?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
So it's like, oh, you have like 35 flame steps. And you have to be able to make it back to your village before those run out. Otherwise, you are lost into the darkness. You could be one step away and be lost into the darkness.
It's like when you're in front of your bed in Stardew Valley and you run out of time and you pass out right there and you still have to pay.
And you're just like,
stupid
oh
Harvey.
my gosh. Yeah.
And it's not like it's game over. Like, you keep the progress you made in terms of how much you've expanded your village. But you, like, if you got upgrades, like, oh, now you have 50 steps of flame and you have like 8 coin pouch instead of your 5 or whatever it was, that's all gone. You start back at your like 30 steps and you're like 5 coins, and it's
You
like
have to rebuild.
yeah. And I'm like, that's frustrating. So I just make a new like save file and start over.
So it's like, it sounds like it's kind of like a roguelite, but you play it like it's just a regular game.
Yeah.
So your goal here is to like 1 credit clear it and just do it all in one go.
Yep,
Huh?
that's what I want. I don't like
Interesting.
being like, nope, this is false progress I made here.
So doesn't that make it harder though? I've never played this game, but
Probably.
So you're just like a challenge.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm getting that far. Honestly, I over estimate how far I'm gonna get. I'm like, oh, I can make it back. It's fine. There's torches over here, like, because there's like items you can pick up that'll extend the number of steps you can do. I'm like, it's fine. I can make it back. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh no, I can't. Oh
crap.
no.
And then she just like rage quits. She doesn't even like let herself die. She's like, I'm done. Start over.
Pretty much. I'm like, no.
I ain't making it.
Yeah.
Sounds like an interesting game. I think I remember seeing it on the Cozy Direct. I looked it up to see what it looked like, and it's definitely cozy as far as like the styling
visual,
goes.
yeah.
That little stress of trying to get back in time. Some people might not find that too cozy, but overall, I feel like it seems like a cozy game.
It is. It's really cute. I like the look of it a lot and the characters, but every time I die, I just want to quit.
Well, you do.
I do. You're right.
So does it sound like a game that you guys would play, Jessi and Hannah?
I mean, I think it sounds interesting. I haven't looked it up, or I watched the Cozy Direct or the Wholesome Direct a few times, so like I'm sure I've seen the commercial for it like a bunch of times. But
Yeah, it wasn't in your list when you mentioned what you were interested from that direct.
oh, right. Well, yeah, I mean, it seems interesting. I think that I wouldn't rage quit.
Yeah.
Like that seems like I remember her having this conversation with me recently. Like she's like, and I keep quitting, and I think I wasn't fully paying attention because like I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But now that I'm listening to her talk about it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense at all.
No, but
this
look,
is a really
it's hard.
bad plan.
It's because it's hard to continue at that point. I'm like, okay, my next quest requires me to have like 8 coins. I literally don't have enough capacity to get to 8 coins.
I think that you're hoping that you're just gonna get lucky instead of planning.
Poor Kristine. One of the next time you play it, you should try to just keep going after your death. See how it goes.
I tried a little bit. Okay, fine.
No, you play the game how you want to play it. It's into the Kristine lands now.
Yes. What's cozy for you?
Jessi, you think you'd play it?
Even though I like being mocked, as I said, I'm kind of failure averse. So if I like lose progress from dying, like I really like peaceful Minecraft because if I get killed by a creeper and I was like 2,000 miles away from my base, I will just like, nope, I'm not going to play anymore today. So I think for me, I'm slowly learning how to become less failure averse. So maybe one day, but I'd say right now, maybe not. I would probably also rage quit a lot.
I get it. I like a challenge, and it sounds like a challenging
Yeah.
game. Looking at it, I mean the array of things that I like to play is huge. So
Yeah.
looking at it, it seems like something I'd play. I guess where I would say is I don't know how much I'd prioritize it over my long list of games.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the concept, and I like a good roguelite, and it sounds like that's what it is. I like that progress of when you die, you've made some progress, and you just go in and
You're not
just
even
keep
losing
going.
all of your progress.
Look,
You're like,
guys.
it's not like you're like, all right, start back at 0.
It was so upsetting the first time it happened. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'm back in the village, and I look and I'm like, where did all of my extra stuff go?
It was only from one run though, so I think you could probably get it back.
It was so upsetting.
I haven't seen Kristine angry very many times, but I feel like this would have been a
I
sight.
think we need to see her Twitch stream this.
Oh yeah,
I do have a computer set up now. So.
Kristine's doing the Twitch streams, or maybe just YouTube streams. Twitch is kind of weird.
Yeah.
You'll get some real weird stuff on Twitch. All right, Hannah, on to you. Let's
All
talk
right.
about a cozy or any kind of game that you've been
Okay,
playing.
well, I'm going to just get this out of the way first. So, last time I was on, I wasn't done with Mass Effect yet, but this time I am done with it.
You were like super close.
I
though,
was
weren't
like,
you?
I was literally, I had 1 level left, and I walked into this house, and I was full of joy and hope and happiness for the future. And Taya straight up sat across from me at that table, and she did not let on at all that my heart was about to be broken into a million pieces, and that I was gonna cry. I hate the ending. I can't. I'm still not over it. They went from being, it's still probably like one of my favorite franchises. But the ending goes against everything that you've ever worked for in the game at all.
Yeah,
So
I've never played it. We've talked about that, but being as engrossed into like the video game world as I am,
Yeah.
it's impossible not to have heard how much everybody hated
look,
that ending.
and I had heard it. I had heard that the ending sucked, and I was like, I just spent the whole time being like people are being dumb. Like, it can't suck that bad. But like literally, it's like I'm not gonna like spoil the ending for people who haven't played it, but like you have options, and every single option is like the character wouldn't have chosen any of these routes. Every single one of these routes has been chosen through the games to be the decision the bad guys make. So why would I make this choice? Why would I make this choice? Why would I make this choice? And there are no happy endings.
That
So
sucks.
so I spent like, I don't know how many hundreds of hours of gameplay, but yeah, so that's not the game I want to talk about, but
But she's done with it, everybody. The 3-year journey.
Yeah.
it's done.
It's completed.
It's done. I'm glad it's done. I'm probably not going to play 4 because I don't know why I would.
I've always heard it's bad. So
Yeah. If they made like a new one suddenly, I would probably be in on it. Okay, I wanted to talk about Botany Manor. I'm sure.
Botany.
Did you guys? I'm sure you guys have seen it around.
This is
Yeah.
a game Jasmine's wanted to play, but I
Yeah.
don't know too much about it.
So it is a super pretty puzzle game. You're in I think like an English manor, and you're trying to grow special plants. You're like this. I think they're like an old lady, and like you're like discovering clues of her life and like the life that she's lived, and like she got this seed from this place and she got this seed from like these studies or these students, and like you're just kind of like unraveling her life while also trying to like unlock certain areas that will help you grow certain plants. Every plant is like, it takes like 18 steps to figure out walking from here to here to here. Oh, okay, I need to go to this part in this garden to unlock this part that's over in this clock tower. And I don't know, I think that the puzzles were good, like hard enough that I had to cheat. And that's my level for if a puzzle game is good.
That's a good puzzle game.
Because if I don't know how to win, then
it's smarter than me.
Yeah, exactly,
I like
exactly. I will say though that it did, like Kristine was saying, it only took 4 hours in one sitting, and I had heard so much about it like leading up to playing it, and I was like, I was expecting there to be just like tons of levels, and it really wasn't that many levels.
That's too bad.
So,
and that's the problem with that kind of game too. Like this, I think that's the best example for Kristine too of like a short game that shouldn't be that short is a puzzle game, because unless they randomize the puzzles or something, like how are you, there's no replayability there. And
I think that it's like, and I think I'll talk about this with the next game I talk about too, but like it feels like the kind of game that would be very easy for them to be like, and DLC drops, and here's 6 new plants that you can learn how to grow, and there's new puzzles, and like that feels fine, I guess. But are you guys ready for my hot take?
Okay.
It's here already. I didn't know when it was gonna get brought up, but I've got it, okay? And I'm literally just gonna read you this script that I wrote because I do not want to try and look at you and say this.
This might be spicy, guys.
I don't know if it is, but I am very genuinely interested in what you guys have to say. But I am not a fan of games being released in beta or like early access instead of being a complete game. I hate it. This is obviously a problem that like happens in like AAA games too, obviously, but I think it really plagues like the indie cozy space, because obviously these developers need money so they can finish these games, but like finish the game first. Like I can't, I don't have the time to play a game twice. I don't want to, like, they're always like, play it in early access. Like Disney Dreamlight Valley is a great example of that. I was like so in on that game, and like now the game is like, it's still not finished, I don't think, but it's like, it's closer to finished, but I'm like, I ran out of content and I don't want to go back to it now.
Yeah. You finished what was there at the time, and
yeah,
it's kind of hard to go back to games sometimes once you put a certain amount of time in between when you played it originally.
Yeah. I mean, like some of the games, like there's one that's been on every single Wholesome Direct. The Wholesome Directs only started in 2020. It's been on every single one, and it's still in early access, and it's been out like since the first Wholesome Direct.
Which one?
I think it's Pico or Calico. I forget which one it is. I think they're the same developer, but I forget. It's like a cat cafe, and it's like, it's still in early access. It's still not done, and I'm like, I don't want to play this. Like, it's like, I'm interested in it, but I genuinely don't want to play it because it's still not done.
Yeah. Early access stuff's not something I'm super familiar with, because I think it's more of a PC thing. Like it happens more on Steam than it does on console. Don't quote me on that, because it's possibly just not the type of game I play as often. But it happens, like especially like I've seen more often with like a beta coming out, but it's close to the final version. And then you spend all this time playing it, and then they're like, okay, now the real version's out, and then they take away your progress that you made in the beta.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, again, like I understand that like it's probably from a sense of like money. Like money is the main thing. Like they don't have enough money to finish the game. But yeah, I just don't have the energy or the time to go back and play it again. And I was thinking like maybe it's like a live service game kind of correlation. Like I'm trying to like draw like a line, like, you know how like games have seasons now, a lot of games. And so it's like, oh, come back each season. And like some people can do that, but I can't. I don't want to come back. I want to play a game and be done with it.
You want to find not a finite ending, definite ending.
Yeah. And like these games that I'm talking about are not, I mean, I understand like Pokemon coming out and then having a DLC, and that's a game you can play for like 100 hours or whatever, like if you really like spend some time in it, or like Animal Crossing needs DLC. I'm not anti DLC. What I'm anti is a cozy game that is a 4-hour game being in beta and then literally like, okay, now it's done and it's a 6-hour game, and I'm like, we did not need to do that. You could have just finished it.
Why weren't we done forever ago?
Right, exactly. So please tell me your thoughts.
I think I agree. But it's funny you mentioned that because the game I said I was playing, Into the Emberlands, is in early access right now.
Right. And so at some point, if you actually played it all the way through, you'd realize that there was like an end. There was like you'd reached the edge of the universe and you're like, well, there's nothing I can do now and I have to stop. And that would be really upsetting.
Yeah.
Except that you could never get that far.
Look. For getting early access, I got some costumes and I got a little platypus buddy that follows me
Yeah.
around.
See,
There you
and
go.
that's how they
I
get
like
you
platypus.
with little
Platypi.
costumes.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to DLC, I know a lot of people complain that like why wasn't it just in the game? Like
Yeah.
like how far away was that really from being done? And I get that. Sometimes DLC comes out months after the game launches, and
Right.
like really that wasn't close enough to being
Yeah.
done that we couldn't put it on there. But my big thing with DLC is kind of like what you were saying. A lot of games that get DLC by the time it comes out, I've checked out. Like I don't have any desire to go back to the game. Like I think of the Marvel Spider-Man. By the time when I played that to when the DLC came out, I was like, I'm done.
Right.
I'm just gonna wait for the next one.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Jessi.
Yeah, I feel the same. I also feel like there's too many, like, the cute little cozy sim games where it's like, oh, hey guys, look at this game that we're making. And then it's been like 3 years and I'm already like, I don't really care. And then they're
Right.
like, it's finally in early access. It'll be released in 2027. And like, I probably am not going to care by then. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like you watch the Wholesome Direct. And like, I was saying to Kristine, like, you can genuinely go back to 2020 and like watch them, and some of those games are still not out. And then it's like, okay, cool. But like, why aren't you just announcing the games that are coming out? Like, you don't need to build so much hype. Like, I understand like wish listing on Steam is really important, and if there's games that you're interested in, you should go wish list on Steam. That's important. But like, yeah. If the game's not going to come out for 3 years, don't even tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a fine line too, because if you announce something too early, people get frustrated waiting for it.
Right.
Like they don't want to. It actually starts to sour the taste for the game before
Right.
it's ever even come out. And if you don't give enough time before the game comes out, it don't have enough time to build anticipation
Right.
for it. So there's a line there. I don't know what it is. I don't work in advertisement, but
Yeah.
you've seen it happen. You've seen plenty of games that get advertised 6 years before they ever come out.
Yeah.
And by the time they come out, it's borderline impossible for them to have lived up to that hype.
Right.
Unless it's a Zelda or, that exceptional game that
Right.
everybody knows is going to be good anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I understand where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's too hot of a take.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me angry, so I'm glad that you agree with me.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Thank you for that spiciness.
Yeah.
So I think as far as I tried to play some cozy games and I had time, but I couldn't get into much. So the game I'm going to be talking about, I don't know if it falls into the cozy category, but I kind of think it does. It just came out in this last came out in September. That's the Plucky Squire. Have you guys heard of that one? Mm-hmm. So the first time I saw it, I love games with unique art styles. Mm-hmm. So like Cuphead, like when it came out, I was going to play it no matter what, just because of the art.
Yeah.
And this kind of fell into that same category. Like the look of it alone was enough to make me want to play it. Mm-hmm. And I played through it. It's not a very long game. Maybe 6 hours total. It's kind of a Zelda-like game, I guess. So I guess what's cool about it is you play as the Plucky Squire, whose name is Jot, and he is the main character in this book, the Plucky Squire. And as it goes on, the bad wizard guy, messes up everything in the book, and then you end up getting thrown out of the book, and so you're in the real world, and then you have to figure out how to get back in.
Is it the real world?
He's out. He comes out of the console even.
No,
and he's
that's
sitting
not
right
what I
next to me.
mean.
It's
sounds
the
immersive.
real world, yeah. Like where the book is written, he's supposed to be in that world.
Oh, okay.
And like it's a young person who's writing the book, and he's in that person's room.
Okay.
So you go in and out of the book to accomplish goals and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they do a really good job. And it's really, when you're in the book, it's a very cool hand-drawn looking art style. I don't know, very cartoony. Like, I don't know how to explain it properly, but it's a very attractive art style. Like, I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
And when you come out of the book, it's like 3D. Like, they're trying to make it look slightly more real. And overall, the game is very simple. That's why I kind of feel like it could be cozy, because it has the look of a cozy game and the art and everything, and it's not a hard game. Like I think anybody could play this game. Even if like you've played Zelda before and feel like it's too hard, this game is pretty easy. But the cool thing is, on certain pages of the book, there will be a phrase like, it'll say like, the door is in the way, and you can take one of there will be certain words that you can knock out of the phrase, and you can go find a different word to put in there to get the door out of the way.
Nice.
And so you have those little puzzles. They're all pretty easy, but you can do those as you go around. One of the cool things in the game was the mini games that they base off of other types of games. Like the first mini game is based off of Punch Out, and then they have one later that's based off of like Bust a Move. So like the falling orb type mini game. It's not. This game isn't gonna blow any minds. The art is definitely the best part of it.
Yeah.
But when I finished it and I was completely done, I put it down, and the best way I could put it is it's like a kids movie. How, a good kids movie, how you might watch it and you feel good when it's over, but it maybe doesn't challenge your, the way you think about anything or whatever. Not a Pixar movie, obviously. So those all depress you, but it just leaves you with a good feeling. You're like, that was good. That was cute. You know, and that's kind of how I felt about it. Is it was just like, I was done and I was like, that was good. Like, I enjoyed it. Probably don't need to ever play it again.
Yeah.
But it's a great game for somebody who wants to get into slightly more action category. Or I can see it being a really good game for a parent to play with their kid, too, because of how introductory it is to the gameplay style. And it has some puzzles and stuff, but nothing ever too challenging.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't think I need to play it again, but I'm happy that I played it. And the art in this game is awesome.
Yeah. I think that 6 hours is like good because you can play it for like a few sittings. I think that like the main too short of a game is like, it's one sitting. I played it in one sitting.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang, it's over. You know? So.
I agree. And I honestly feel like, unless they...
Or maybe you did play it in one sitting. I don't know what your gaming is like.
No, I played it in a couple sittings.
Okay.
I do feel like it's... if it would have been much longer, it would have started to overstay its welcome. Like it needed to end when it did, unless they added something new that was really fun or something.
Yeah.
It was, by the time it was done, I was not like, oh, why isn't there more? I was like, okay, I'm glad it's done.
I think that's good. I think that means it's a good game.
Yeah, I agree. So not for everybody, but I do think there's a very specific audience this game will be great for. I genuinely would love... I can't tell parents what to do, but I feel like most parents, this is a great game for a parent to play with their kids, because it's not like even a younger. I don't know. I'm not a parent. I don't know how old you let your kids play video games, but even a younger kid, I would think this would be totally fine for. Like, if you're letting them watch Disney movies, they can probably play this game with you. It's very. I'm the last person. I shouldn't be telling people what they can play.
Not a lot of angry parents like, how could you say this is okay?
They dropped the F-bomb in it. Oh, my bad.
I didn't notice at all.
That is a problem. I do, because I don't have kids and I don't have to think about that stuff. There are times where I've been like, oh yeah, it's great. Good movie.
Yeah.
Kids will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't do that. This game is rated E, so it should be good.
Oh man, are we supposed to have the ratings for our games?
I
I don't have any.
Only when you're suggesting that parents play it with their kids.
Parents, don't play Mass Effect with your children.
No.
But yeah, that's the Plucky Squire for you. It's a solid like 6 out of 10. So let's go back to Jessi. What's another game you've been playing?
Okay, so slight story time. I actually ran to my local library to look at like all the games that they might have that I haven't played that looked cozy, and I just like grabbed a bunch. And one of the ones that I grabbed that I actually really like is, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's spelled Hoa, so I would say Hoa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's a cute little cozy platformer. It's very chill. I played Celeste. Not for me. My heart's pounding. So in comparison to Celeste, it's much cozier, much more chill. Yeah, I like it. I would recommend it. The story, I'd say, it's a little meh, but it's okay in comparison to games where I'm like, spamming through the dialogue box like, oh, I don't care. Like, everybody's pretty much saying the same thing. Like, oh, it's nice to see you again. I remember when you were tiny. I'm so glad you made it. And then, like, helping me get a new power-up. And yeah, I'm not huge on platformers, so I was actually surprised how much I like this one. And the art style is so cute.
I was going to say, it's got a very, very cute art style.
Yeah, it almost weirdly reminds me of, like, Beatrix Potter, like, Peter Rabbit and Jemima Puddle Duck kind of thing, but a little bit more fantasy and, like, more insect-focused.
Nice.
And it's just very pretty, really cute. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't fully recommend it, but
That does look cute.
it is
I
very...
remember it being on one of the directs.
Yeah, it's very watercolor, pretty. I don't have a ton to say about it, but
Some
I
of
just
these
thought
levels
I'd
are
bring
really
it up.
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The music is really nice too, like piano instrumentals.
I love platformers. And I love Celeste.
Yeah.
But I like the challenge. But this looks fun. I've come to realize, I think I may have said this before, but for years RPGs were just my go-to. That's my favorite genre. And I still love RPGs, but I've come to realize just straight up platformers are probably my favorite genre because I think I could play back to back to back platformers, and I cannot do that with RPGs.
Yeah.
I can usually only do one or two. I used to be able to when I was a teenager. But now, once I put 100 hours into one, I'm like, now I gotta take a break.
Yeah.
That was a lot of RPG.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it looks good, though. It's
Yeah.
not hard to entice me with a platformer that has good, like, a nice art style, though.
It does look cute.
I don't know for sure yet if it's like worth paying for, if this is one of the games that you should get when it's on sale. Or just rent it from your library if your library has it, because mine did, and I got it for free.
That's what I was going to say.
What library system are you that they rent
App.
games? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm jealous. Our libraries don't have
I'm
games.
like, I don't know that. Oh, yeah. Like you said that earlier, and I was like, do libraries rent games?
I'm not sure
But-
if Pierce County does.
Pierce
and Gig
doesn't,
Harbor.
because that's where we're at.
Okay. Because I also have
Or
Gig
at least-
Harbor's library card, and I don't remember if they have video games, but yeah, Kitsap County does for sure.
Nice.
It's super cool. I know they even sell them sometimes, too, and you can get them, like, dirt cheap if
Yeah.
you catch them when they sell them. They don't price them at anything other than some base low price. But yeah, I'm always jealous when I see people posting pictures of like that they rented these at their library, or they bought these from their library. I've went to every library in the area
Oh, no.
just to see if any of them happened to rent or sell them, and they didn't.
That's a bummer. I
Yeah.
understand though.
That's cool though. I'm happy for you.
I hope you can get a good sale on it then.
All right, Kristine, let's talk games again.
I finished earlier in the year the game Tunic.
Ah, yes, I loved Tunic.
Yes.
So cute.
I loved it.
Apparently James didn't believe I could finish it.
Yeah,
so
that's,
I showed him.
That's honestly what motivated her to finish it.
No,
because
that's not
she
true.
wasn't done yet. She's like, I'm not done with Tunic yet, and James was like, she's not gonna beat it, and I was like, he says you're not gonna beat it, and she's like, oh, I will.
Is that because he hasn't beaten it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, it's hard. It'll
It
be way
is.
too hard for Christine.
It is.
Get out, James.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
It is a hard game. It's there were things that I had to look up for sure because I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. But it's a lot of fun. You play as a cute little fox.
Mm-hmm.
You're running around. You kind of honestly look like Link and Zelda, but it's fine. And it's interesting because you're going around the game trying to gather pieces of the game's manual. And so you're like, you don't know what you're really doing. You're running around just doing the basics of most RPGs. You're like, yeah, this seems to make sense. And you're just kind of going further along. And then as you get the pieces of the manual, it's explaining, oh, actually, if you do this, you can do this thing in the game. You're like, oh, that's cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things you're like, oh, I was doing that already. Okay, that makes sense. And there's like secret messages on the manual pages too. So it's like there's a lot of levels to this game that honestly, if I didn't look up, no way I could figure out all of it.
Yeah, an interesting thing about that game too is there's no spoken dialogue whatsoever. So like there's no text either. Like it's not like something's telling you via text what to do or anything like Kristine said. It's all you have to figure it out. And then eventually at some point you figure out that the manual is telling you a lot of how to get through the game, but you can only do so much until you find certain pages. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I freaking loved that game. So I'm glad to hear that you played it. I think that it's a great Zelda clone because it's definitely made in the style of Zelda.
It gave me about 35 hours of play, which is what I was looking for. So it was nice.
Kristine set down her controller and was like, I am
Yeah.
satisfied.
Yes.
This is the length of game I want.
I think I was in the last stretch of the game when Hannah was like, oh, have you listened to the latest podcast episode? I was like, no. She's like, it is a long one. I was like, okay. And I literally just turned it on. I was just playing. And by the time I finished the podcast episode, I was like, I'm almost done with this game now.
I've done it. You're welcome. I helped get you through it. Me and whoever the guest was.
Yeah. I think it was actually Jaden and James.
Perfect.
The perfect gift.
Yeah.
Me and
Christina's never
Jessi
been so
agreed.
zoned in.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game. I can't say I would ever play it again because it was very hard, but it was fun.
Yeah, I hear that. It's a game I see myself going back to in the future, probably 6-7 years down
To
the
play
road.
with your kids.
Shut up, Hannah. This is a game I think that parents can play with their kids. If I had kids, yeah, I would play Tunic with them and Halo. Yeah, now you threw me off. I don't even remember. Something about kids. We're not having kids, Hannah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Great game, though.
It was a really fun game. Oh my goodness, there were so many parts where I backtracked so much. I'm like, it says that there's this thing here, but I don't see it, and I had to go backwards over and over again, and I died a lot.
How many times did you rage quit?
Yeah, how many times did you rage quit in this game?
And start over.
I never started over, but I definitely had to walk away sometimes. I was like, nope. I tried beating this boss like, I don't know, like 15 times in a row, and I couldn't do it. I kept dying at different spots, and I'm like, nope, this is just not happening. I can't do this. I'm getting more mad. So I walked away, had to give it a week or two, came back to the game. Yeah.
You lay in your room and just stare at your Switch like,
Yeah.
game.
I'm just looking angrily at the fox. Why can't you die?
Just dodge, dang it. Well, Hannah and Jessi, is it a game you guys see yourselves playing?
No.
All right.
I'll watch Jaden play it. I really want to watch Jaden play it, but I don't know. I don't think. This is a slight tangent. Jaden and I are very opposite. I am very quick to be like, nope, I'm good. I've tried twice. I'm okay. He'll like replay the same boss 10 times, and then he'll like replay it again just to get a quicker time. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. It's one of the ways that we are opposites and balance each other, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's a patient boy. I'm like that too, though. I'll replay, just like you said, just to get the best time, just because I know I can do it better, and it made me mad that I didn't do it good enough. So I hear you. And no, you're just not going to play Tunic, huh? It doesn't
Well,
seem like a Hannah game.
It's not a Hanna
we
game.
discovered with Rune Factory, Hannah can't do any fighting in a game.
Look, okay.
Unless it's Mass Effect. Give her a gun in a third-person view, shoot the heck out of
You
those
know,
aliens.
okay, honestly, when I started playing Mass Effect 2, the shooting was really hard for me. But I got really good at headshots, guys. I don't know what to say.
Next thing we know, Hannah's in the army, trained sniper.
You know, no. I think that if in a game there is just button mashing, like I can mash A until it's dead, then it's perfect. If I have to like run at the same time or like do anything else, I cannot.
Yeah.
If it is platform style where I'm jumping and running or shooting and running,
Goodness.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
What was that Disney game that we were playing?
Oh,
Illusion
Illusion
Island.
Island.
Yeah, we discovered Hannah cannot do.
James bought me that game as a gift, and even like at the he gives it to me, and I'm like, this is not gonna go good. So
James bought himself that game.
yeah,
But he never plays it because Hannah doesn't play with him.
I'm always just like in a bubble trailing behind.
It's like in the new Super Mario Brothers games.
Yeah.
Well,
So
R.I.P.
too bad.
That's a good game, though. James should play it. You can watch him. Just like Jaden's going to play it. and
I
just
think I
gonna
have seen it because he has at least played it.
Yeah,
a
but
chunk
James
of
hasn't
it.
even finished it. So
Yeah.
That's because James is lesser than you, Kristine. Don't
I
let him
agree.
convince you
I agree.
otherwise. All right, Hannah, what other games have you been playing?
Okay, so for my third game I'm talking about, this was the first game I bought on my computer, my PC game. I just wanted like a little, I knew this going in was going to be like kind of short, but I didn't know how short. And the answer is like 3 hours. But this game is called Minami Lane. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a Japanese aesthetic Tanuki Raccoon town building sim.
So
Not even
cute.
town building, street building. Like if you think back to your childhood and think Roller Coaster Tycoon, but way cuter, like that.
Roller Coaster Tycoon's adorable.
Yeah, and you're only doing, it is kind of nice because at first I was like, okay, is this going to be like I'm trying to build up a street over the course of time? And like, I don't know if I'll be able to stay interested in that for long term, but it actually gives you just one city block at a time, and you have to reach all these objectives before you can move on, and then you start on a new block. So I think that it's like, it's good. Like you're like, I can meet this quota of things I need to do, and then I can move on to the next thing. It is kind of cool because very like Japanese style. There is old people and there's young people, and they have totally different interests. So like you're trying to build this city block, and the old people are like, I want my ramen to have 6 mushrooms in it. And the young people are like, ew, mushrooms. Do not put that in my ramen. So you have to build 2 ramen places, one for old people, one for young people. You have to build 2 of like essentially everything. The old people don't want to listen to the same karaoke music that the old people do. They want different stuff at the convenience stores. You have to like just like build 2 of every single thing. So that was cool. But yeah, it was not that long. It had 6 levels. And this is another one of those games where I'm like, I could very easily, like, I watched the next Wholesome Direct and they're like, Minami Lane is getting another 3 levels. And that would make total sense. Like I could totally see that. It didn't have like it wasn't like Botany Manor where there was like an epilogue where you see the game end. This was like, all right, the game's done, so hopefully you had fun. Bye. So yeah, I could see it coming out with more, and it'd be cool, and I would play it, especially if I didn't have to pay more for it. Not that it cost tons of money. It was probably only like $10. So
Everything I'm seeing here says $5. Super cheap.
I got it right when it came out. Maybe it was more
Hanna
expensive.
overpaid.
Oh, jeez, Anna.
I'm sorry.
It looks super cute though. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it was super cute.
The art is really nice.
Yeah. Eventually, if you do really, really good, like magical creatures will come and live on your street. And you have to like make sure that the town is really pretty. Like you're like trying to build up beauty points. Like you're like, I need to invite more people in. I need to invite more young people, more old people. But you also have to build parks and like put flowers all over everything. And I don't know how many, like you play a day at a time. Like everyone will come out of their houses and like do all their things. And they're like, this is how you could do this better for the next day. And that's really nice. Like you'll hear the old people be like, I didn't like that you put extra flowers in the bouquets. And you're like, okay, I will take out the flower bouquets for tomorrow.
Flower hating old people.
No, I mean, it was, I genuinely liked it because like sometimes you'll be playing a game like this and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong and why my levels aren't going up. Like, why is the beauty level not going up? Why is this level not going up? And so it was giving you like real feedback from like the people walking around. And so I liked that. But yeah, too short, but cute. Very
Too
cute.
short, but cute.
Yes.
Hannah's final review.
Yep.
Too short, but cute.
Yep.
Well, does it sound like a game you guys would play?
I think so. I think I'd try it.
Christine, it's pretty short.
Possibly.
If they came out with more levels.
Yes, if it came out with more levels. I would say.
If they can make it longer than 4 hours,
Yeah.
Christine might be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also cheap. That helps
It's very cheap.
counteract the length.
Everything on Steam is cheap. It's amazing.
That's what I discovered. I remember that made me remember the first cozy game that I ended up buying after the the podcast last time was Garden Buddies. I think I talked about last time.
Maybe.
Sounds
Sure.
familiar.
That's when I discovered I hated how short cozy games.
What is this? I think I'd play it. I like that kind of like building sim game. I like a relaxing game every once in a while, but I need a purpose.
Yeah.
A very like direct, like this is like I need a goal, I guess. And that game sounds like it has a very
You have a checklist.
Yeah.
Every day you're trying to build towards the checklist. And when you hit the checklist, the game is done. I mean, the level is done. And you
Yeah.
move on.
Speaking of checklists,
Yeah.
I started playing just yesterday. I have not finished it. The Untitled Goose Game,
Yay!
Ah.
and there is checklists in that game.
Yes. There are.
I get the feeling it's pretty short. I've made it through. I've just finished the second area, and it looks like there's only 1 or 2 more areas. So, but it's a fun game. Like it's not. I don't have a lot to say about it because I've probably only played for like 2 hours.
yeah.
But I love the chaos that you can just
sure.
tormenting the old farmer guy. It's a blast.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it was kind of fun just trying to like steal his keys so that you know, then running away from him and he's chasing you and then pulling something else around. And I'm like, I was just tormenting the poor guy. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot to say about it, but it's definitely, it feels like a cozy game. It has like the music, the art style, chill objectives. You can't die. So like,
would you be more interested in it if you could?
if I could die?
Like the farmer can catch you and kill you.
Blood everywhere.
Oh my god. This is a horror game.
Cute indie horror.
Yeah, that's a thing now, right? Like
Yeah,
indie
definitely
horror
it is.
or cutesy horror. Yeah, I don't think that would make me more into it.
Oh, okay.
As of right now, like, I think what I'm starting to realize is like there's certain aspect of cozy gaming that I'm into, and it's not all of it for sure. I think I like this game just fine, but I don't know that there's a lot of games like it that I would like, if that makes sense. Like, I think this is not something, a genre, which cozy itself might not be the genre of the of an Untitled Goose Game.
I think it's
but
a cozy
it's
game.
cozy.
It's a cozy
Is
game.
it? Okay.
Yeah. There's it's chill objectives. You can't die. It's, I don't know. The merch is cute. I think that's all part of cozy gaming.
Cute merch.
Cute merch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying what I played. I like the chaos aspects. So maybe I don't like being cozy. Maybe I like chaos and
You
darkness.
like heart palpitation.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, why isn't this guy coming out? Maybe I do want the death, Hannah.
Yeah, I think so. I think you do.
No, it's fun though. It's fun. I do enjoy the chaotic aspects of it. I liked making the little kid fall over and tricking him to pick up the wrong glasses. Like,
Yeah.
that stuff made me laugh. Getting him stuck in the phone booth. I'm like, stupid kid. Oh, maybe I'm a bad person.
I think it's the point of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just to be
Chris
chaotic.
recommends this for parents and children as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. This,
Parents, your kids will love this game. You might not love that you let your kids play it.
yeah. They're going to be stealing your keys.
They're gonna turn on the sprinkler when you're not looking and get right in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about it though. I've enjoyed what I've played.
Yeah.
5 out of 10. I'm just playing.
5 out of 10.
All right, Jessi.
I think I might do a rapid fire of these shorter, like 2 to 3 hour games. Because Untitled Goose Game was one of mine, but I'm so happy you brought out all the things that I would say about it.
Hey, I did good.
Another one along similar lines is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. That's another, like,
I've heard of that one. I've heard that a lot of people like it.
it's very short. Get it if it's on sale.
Yeah, I've heard it's short, which is why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I also have that on my list just because I like the name.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. But I was like, oh, it's actually great. But yeah, I'd say wait for a sale on online on Steam or like the Nintendo Switch store. But I really enjoyed it. It's a good, cute little puzzle game. Again, chaos, silly, quirky. But this one has actually dialogue and you can talk to people. And then a combination of Untitled Goose Game and I'd say Stray kind of vibes. Very slightly Stray vibes. I'm going to get into Stray more later because that is a dark, cozy game for me. I love Stray. But Little Kitty, Big City, I did give that one a go. Again, along the same lines, you'll probably finish it in a sitting or two, but it's really cute.
Is it done?
It's done.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is a short game.
Yeah.
But then
I
there's...
like the name.
Yeah. And there's little hats that you can collect from all of the little, like, gotcha machines. So that's extra fun. And then short is in the title. I didn't finish it yet, but A Short Hike. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's so like DS nostalgic. It's so cute. It's got the fun little dialogue and it's like there's lots of little fetch quests where it's like, oh, if I get this shovel from over here and bring it over here, then I'll unlock the shovel. And I honestly don't even want to finish it. Like I didn't rush through it because I was like, I don't want to. I need to take my time. This game is so cozy.
It's on like any like list you look at or any podcast you listen to, like these are the best cozy games. It's on every single one.
But
Again, it's short, so I'm like that's why I've never played it. Because I'm just like, do you want to play it? But
It is called A Short Hike.
I know, but like, yeah, now that I have a PC, I think a lot of these games are more open to me because I'm not as like, oh man, I have to pay a bunch of money to get it. It's just, it's going to be cheap and they're always on sale. So.
But you never truly own them.
I'm a big fan of digital. Hot take.
It's not a hot take. If
I
it
know.
was a
I
hot
know.
take, then
I know
we
you're
would-
with me, Joel.
We wouldn't have.
You're here in spirit, smiling over my shoulder.
Joel's so happy right now. I've never felt so much joy coming from that area of Tacoma. I mean, digital's convenient. I'll always give it that. Like, I do like how convenient digital is. I played Plucky Squire and Untitled Goose Game digital,
Yeah.
but I didn't buy them because I just have them on PS Plus Extra. So
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think that if with a lot of these short games, if they're on like the not Play Store, what's it called? What's the Xbox one
Game
called?
Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. And I'm like, yeah, sure, they're just here, so
Yeah.
why not?
yeah, yeah, I don't know. It'll always be a.
If I love it,
conundrum.
it's like the same thing. Like I'm not the person who goes to Barnes and Noble and buys a book before I read it. I want to play it first. So if I
play the book first.
I want to read it. And so if I really love a game digitally, I would probably buy it physically if it exists.
Yeah.
So like I think that's maybe that's where I'm coming from with this, because I'm like, why would I buy something before I know I love it?
That's true.
Yeah.
I see some truth to that. Well, like Tunic was a PlayStation Plus game, and that's how I played it. But I liked it so much that I still haven't actually bought it, but I want to buy a physical copy of it because I want to be able to play it again in the future, and I don't want to have to worry about stupid digital.
See,
See,
you did the same thing I just said.
I'm what I hate. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy.
yeah, that makes sense. I have never bought a physical game since
Ever?
No, I mean since getting a Switch. Like
What?
they've all been digital.
That's crazy.
It's easy.
It's just I
I
mean,
mean,
to be fair, I got a Switch during the pandemic, and then like
Did you
It
not
just-
have access to stores at the time, or?
no, but like I didn't plan on getting many games. Like I got it for Animal Crossing, and then just it was
That's all
like
you need. That's really all you
it
need.
was just convenient, I didn't have to wait for a game to arrive. I was like, oh, it's on sale. Let's just get this from the store.
I can't judge you. I can't judge anybody for liking digital. It's
Feels like
convenient.
it feels like you're judging
It
though.
does.
I
feel
would
like you're
never judge you guys for liking digital media.
Jessi, being married to Jaden, do you feel pressure to be physical?
He pressures me to be. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Because for me, I feel like it's just the convenience of not having to get up and change it.
Right.
I hate having
Right.
physical
You
That's
guys
the
are
main
so
thing.
lazy.
Thing.
Okay, but
Everybody
like
says men are lazy.
Okay, continue, Jessi. Continue.
But I will say, like, for me, I feel I almost have the opposite mindset when it comes to, if I'm not sure I'm going to love a game, I actually want the physical, because then we can resell it if I don't love it. So
that makes
that's
sense.
where my brain goes. Because Steam, you can ask for a refund after so much.
Oh.
But you can't do that, like, on the Nintendo Switch store.
Yeah.
Or, like, Xbox or PlayStation, to my
Yeah.
knowledge. So, yeah. If it's a game I'm not positive, then I'll just buy it physical and hope to resell and get at least most of my money back.
That makes sense.
That's a good point.
I didn't think
I
of that.
appreciate it. That's the number one thing I always tell people when it comes to physical media. At least if you don't like it or you're done with it, you can sell it.
Or gift it.
Yeah, do something with it. Somebody else can borrow it and play it.
That's true. James complains that I only buy digital because he can't borrow any of my games.
Oh.
It honestly did. It has only affected me negatively in that Kristine was like, do you have any cozy games that I could play? And I was like, literally, no, I don't own any of them.
Yeah.
So
that was a bit of
it
an
was
issue.
a problem. But yeah,
Because a lot of them
fine.
are digital exclusive, surprisingly.
That's-
true. Yeah.
And if a game comes out digitally first and doesn't get a physical till later, like, I don't fault anybody for wanting to play it and buying it right away. That's never where that's the developer's fault or the publisher for not making a physical one sooner. I never fault anybody for that ever. I'm the stupid person that might wait for in the hopes that it gets a physical. But yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. Physical media.
For me, I feel like so going back to the just being lazy to switch the game. I feel like
Your Switch is literally in your hands.
no,
I don't play
so
handheld.
this is something. Yeah, this is something that I've been mocked for by Hannah and James that I
What?
don't carry my Switch around with me.
Yeah, she's like literally she won't. It's like insane. Me and James, like, we get on that plane and we have our Switches in our bags, like they're
Mine's
there.
still docked at home.
Yeah, mine is always
She won't
docked.
take it with her. She's like, what if I lose it? I'm like, the point of the Switch is that it
See,
can go with
They're
you.
so
like-
they're so cheap now. You can replace it.
There's that, but like it's for me, like when I think of a console, it's a console. It is stationary. Like I don't think to like I'm gonna pick this up and take this with me. Like
should
you
watch-
would never do that
you
with
should
like
watch some of the early Switch commercials. They'll tell you how it's supposed to be used.
You can play it on the
rooftop
rooftop.
like I get that I can take it, but like I just have a great fear that I'm going to one, lose it with all and then two, I like doing it on the large screen.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you ever play DS or Game Boy?
I did. I had all of those.
Oh, she
but
played
like,
DS because she did a lot of Pokemon breeding for all of us.
I did, but now that I can have it on large TV, why do I want to take it off of there and got stuck on the small screen? And like for like being on a plane, as far as that goes, like I get sick on the plane. I don't want to be looking at my Switch.
Just take medicine and then you can
Just take
have the best of both worlds.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, on the plane, I don't, for some reason, my wrists are just weak. So holding the regular size Switch, just really, I get like quickly sore. So I would prop it up. And
Right.
have
On the yes,
my
yes,
little
yes.
Joy-Cons all already. But now I have my Switch Lite and it's light.
perfect
it doesn't hurt
size.
my
Yes.
wrist. I love it.
It is very cute. She got the Zelda one.
I did. I got the gold. I can show you guys.
Ooh,
Sorry.
Show and
a live
tell.
showing.
Show and tell, but
That's cute.
only for the
wow.
people here.
Yeah.
It's got the little
Oh, that's super nice.
crest on the
So
back.
cute.
And the black buttons. I love the black buttons.
It's so little.
That's very clean.
It's
They
very
did a good job on that.
sweet. I like the gold.
I hate how many really cool Switch lights they've done.
I know.
The Pokemon ones and that one are all cooler than most of the actual Switches that they've done that were limited edition.
Speaking of Switches, I'm really glad that Switch 2 didn't get announced before our episode because I was like, Chris is going to cancel this episode. He's going to cancel this episode and he's going to do a Switch 2
Okay.
episode. He
If-
definitely would have. So I was glad that it didn't
I
come out.
would
It'll
not-
probably come out next week.
I would not have canceled on you, but if it got announced like today or yesterday, there would have been an impromptu episode. So that is a guarantee. But I
Yes.
wouldn't have canceled this for it. I just would have figured out how to squeeze in another one ASAP.
Yeah.
Um,
Lucky us.
Yeah, lucky you. Yeah, so physical media, that's where you guys should be at. Where were we? Who was talking? Jessi.
Jessi was in the middle.
Yeah.
No, I was on my rapid fire. I think I'm good. The ones that I'm going to bring up later, I want to talk more about. So
Okay.
I'm good with moving on to Kristine.
You could talk about
K-Choi.
our game that we played together.
What game did we play together?
That wasn't like together, but we played it apart at the same time.
I'm confused.
Which one was that again?
What are you talking about? The AI game that we
Oh.
just played.
That's right.
I'm like,
You
you
didn't play
played.
with Kristine,
I'm
you played
like
with
you.
AI.
I'm like you played it today.
You're right. You're right. I did. It was a personality test game. Why am I forgetting what it's called right now?
It's called Refined Self.
You're right. That is what it is called. So basically, you're playing as like a AI robot girl thing, and like you are kind of you. It's not a long game. It's like you can play 3 times to.
I think you can.
You can play as many
You can
times.
play
yeah.
infinite
You
times.
can play infinite times, but really, you play 3 times to unlock each aspect of your personality. Because it's like you have your main personality, your like secondary, your third, and then it's like a hidden personality and a really distant personality trait. Like, and it's like each action you do builds towards these personalities, and it's silly little actions. Like you can pick up a flower. Oh, you built towards your personality.
It's like every single action that you take, every click of the mouse is leading up to your 100%. And once it hits 100%, the game is done.
Yeah.
And you've created your personality.
Yes. And so then it's like you have to play multiple times so that it gets like, it's like it understands that the first time you play, you're going to be like more exploratory. And then the second time, it's like, well, are you going to make those same decisions again? Or are you going to make totally different decisions because now you already know what's going to happen? And so you're building a personality around it. And I thought it was good.
It's good. It's really weird, the story, I think, because especially the first time you're playing through, you're like, what what is this talking about?
That's
Because
the
there's like
point.
a professor. Yeah.
That's the point.
There's a professor in the game that's just kind of like your creator. And she like meant the world to you, and you start the game and it's like, oh, the professor is dead. And you're like, oh man, what am I supposed to do? And do I keep this secret promise that I made to the professor? And you find out like these different things. And there's something about sheep. It's all a little bit weird. You don't find out the truth about it until like the third playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cute. I don't know if the personality unlocked is really that accurate to me.
I was saying that it won't matter to the listeners for everyone else to hear what her personalities are, but I would like to know what you ended up with to know what I did.
So my main personality was Traveler, which basically
that's not like you in real life.
No,
at all.
that's what I'm saying. It says that I'm a super flexible sort of person who does as others do and tries to approach things not tried before. I would not say that is my main personality.
I wouldn't say. What was your hidden personality?
My hidden personality was Sage, which says one who always prepares for possible crises. Better to reliably avoid loss than to chance again. That honestly sounds more like my main personality.
That is more like you.
That sounds like Kristine,
Yeah. But I mean, it was interesting to see those things, and I'm like, I play games very differently than I live life.
Yeah. I feel like I wish the game was like a little bit bigger, but then on the third playthrough I realized that like I made a lot of the same decisions the first two plays. Like I was like the first action you can take is you can visit the doctor's grave, and I did that like every single time, and I'm like, I already know she's dead, like why do I keep coming back here? But I'm like, okay, so then like I chose to make the same decisions the first and second time, and then the third time I was like, no, I'm skipping all this. Like, I don't care if this person dies. I don't care if this person's over here. Like, I'm going to skip all of these people. And now I'm just going to do what I want to do and seek out new places. And I realized that the map was a lot bigger than I thought it was, because I just hadn't gotten able to explore it. Because once you get to those 100 clicks, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, my personality was leader, a proactive and responsible sort who keeps promises and fulfills duties. And that is me.
Yeah.
So, go me. And then my hidden personality, you guys are going to like this. It's collector.
Oh.
A hopeful sort who expects good in all things, loves treasure chests, and will give anything a try. And it is true, because every single playthrough I'd be like, this time I'm going to pick all the flowers that I see. This time I'm going to turn on every light.
That was my distant personality.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was like, my bag is full of scraps of gold that I don't need.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like she's saying, I think that you honestly probably need to play it more than 3 times to even fully understand what's even going on in the story. But if anybody is interested in a $7.99 game that just came out on Switch and is on Steam, pick it up and tell me what personality you get. Because there's like, God, there's got to be like 40. There's so many. And it gives you one of those like, I don't know what this is called. What would you call this? Where it like...
diagram? No, it's a...
Do you know what those are called? I don't know what they're...
I do. But
I've seen them,
because
but
I've
I don't
played
know
like
what they're
I've
called.
taken the quiz where it's like the gamer profile. Like, what type of gamer are you? Are you a social gamer? Are you like an adventure gamer?
It's
Yeah.
like showing your stats in a diagram, but it's...
Yeah, like
Like a hexagon.
it's like where it's like a circle
Pentagon.
hexagon thing, and then like how... There's no way to describe this
over the podcast,
over the
properly with
airwaves.
us.
So yeah, it gives you a little gamer profile, or not a gamer profile, but just like a personality profile, and it either is like you in real life or it's not. And I guess Kristine doesn't play the way she lives her life. So
I do not.
I ended up all of my things. I was like, yep, all of those things are me. But maybe it's because they're good, and I honestly don't want to say them now because I'm scared you guys will be like, she's full of herself. So
awesome, kind, loving.
So I'm like, oh yeah, no, okay, I'm not gonna talk about them anymore.
It's interesting that you did like the same actions twice in a row, because like after I did the first playthrough, I was like, okay, I see how this game went. I'm gonna do like the opposite for all my actions. So like I visited the grave the first time. I was like, I don't need to do that again, so I didn't visit it the
Can I
second
ask,
time.
did you go to the casino?
I did.
Did you also smoke?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't smoke in any of them.
Yeah, I know.
but-
That's the other thing. When you get through at the end of the game, every action that you pick, like you're like, it'll be like, oh look, it's a vending machine that sells cigarettes. Are you gonna smoke? And it'll be like yes, no, and third option. And like depending what you pick, as soon as you click it, it'll be like 80% of people chose that answer.
Oh, that's cool.
And so then like at the end of the game, you see that in like pie format, like it'll be like only 3% of people made the decision. It's basing it how quickly you make that decision. Like it's like mapping how long you're taking. It's mapping like whether you're hesitating. You also, before you start, have to say if you're playing like in front of an audience, because like you're not going to choose the same answers if you're playing in front of somebody versus if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it is really cool. I don't know that it's going to teach you anything really about like your real personality and your real self, but it was interesting to see how it went.
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it, especially that they show you like how you did in comparison to other people.
Yeah.
There was a Walking Dead game that came out in the early like 2013 or something like that. And I remember there being a lot of talk around it because it did that. Like all the decisions you made at the end of the game, it would show you how it compared. Yeah. And there was one decision where you chose whether or not you were going to save the kind of chubby tech guy or like this attractive girl, and it was like a 99% chance to save the attractive girl. So people were like, oh well. Yeah. What did you expect?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was interesting for sure.
Yeah. I was looking at the game. I think it was in one of the directs recently. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. But now I'm definitely going to try this.
Do it.
I'll send you my results.
Yes. Yeah, because there's even like in the game function, you can plug in someone else's tag and it'll compare it directly next to each other.
Yeah, that's exciting. What's it called?
It's called Refined Self.
Refined Self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last playthrough, I literally skipped like everything. Cause like at the beginning, I was like, I'm just going to get to the end.
Exactly.
But I didn't like that because there's an option in the middle, like the first playthrough and even the second, where it's like, do you want to lower your number of like your percentage?
You can make it go from like 100 actions to 200 actions. Like you can be like, do you feel like your personality is complete? You can keep going if you want.
But the third playthrough, they didn't give you that option. And I was like fully doing my game expecting to get more actions, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, same.
Dang, man, this game is a 9 out of 10 on Steam with almost 2,400 reviews. That's pretty good.
Yeah, wow. It's good. It is a quick game.
It's quick, but I think it's interesting. Full, yeah, it's like not. I think because you get stats at the end of it, it makes it almost like I don't care that it's short. Like I was doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of like that idea. I'm gonna put it on my list.
Do it.
I don't know that I've even heard of it.
Yeah, it was on some. It was whether it was Wholesome or something else. It was this year.
I must have seen it then. It just must not have paid much attention.
Yeah,
because it doesn't really look familiar.
It was
but
a
I like
Nintendo
the look
Indie
of it.
Direct.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found out about your true self, Hanna.
My
Kristine
true
found
self.
about her gamer self.
Yeah.
So that was Kristine's.
Yes.
So Hanna.
It was a tag team effort.
Tag team back again.
You didn't mind, did you?
No.
That was a game we had to talk about together.
It was, yeah.
Because I was like, we have to play a game together. We did last time too. We were playing
TikTok.
Is it co-op or you just played it at the same time?
we just
played it at the same time. I wanted to compare.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we played TikTok together last time, and we played.
TikTok is an app for social
no,
media, you guys.
it's actually TikTok. We talked about last time, so you guys should go back and listen to it. But honestly,
it's a really fun game.
That was really fun. They're coming out with a new game, but it doesn't look as creepy, and so I'm not as interested.
Unfortunate.
But what was it? Rune Factory.
We played. Yeah, sure, Hanna. We played Rune Factory together. Sure.
I played that game for at least 5 hours. I just really didn't like it. Ooh, but you guys know what game we're gonna play next together? Together at the same time.
All of us?
Ish. No, me and Kristine.
I mean, we could.
Me and Jessi feel left out.
Absolutely,
you can
join us.
You can play it if you want.
What
We're
is it?
gonna play Three Houses for the first time.
I don't know. Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fire Emblem 3 Houses is great.
Yeah. Can Kristine borrow your copy?
I guess I won't be playing it with you. Yeah, that's fine. You can play it. You can borrow it, Kristine.
Woo.
Yeah.
I feel left out. What do you want to play, Jessi?
The joy of having physical Kristine.
Jessi, play it with us too.
I will have to give it a go. What do I want to play? What's the question?
Oh, it was just. Will you play?
What do you want to play?
Will you play it too?
They're playing something together and they're excluding us.
Yeah, let's play. What is
We can all play Stardew Valley together. We can have a co-op town.
I know. Speaking of Stardew Valley,
please do.
1.6 is going to be released on Switch November
Yay.
4th. Or, excuse me, consoles.
So close.
Not just Switch, but...
Oh, yeah, that is really close.
So what all comes in 1.6?
1.6 is going to have a new desert festival. It is a 3-day event in spring And I believe that like it's kind of like a flea market. I think you can like buy stuff from like
Kind of like the night
people in
market
town.
then?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
But you can buy it from like you can buy like Haley's curling iron and use it as a weapon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like crazy things like that. I'm nearly positive that's the desert festival. And then there's gonna be mini fishing festivals, kind of like
That's awesome. I love fishing
yeah,
in
like
that game.
like fishing tournaments, I think. And then there's going to be a new mastery system with a new area. I'm not fully sure what that includes, but it's in the patch notes. And there's a new farm type, the Meadowlands Farm. It has chewy blue grass that animals love, and you start with a coop and 2 chickens.
Oh, that's cool. It'd be nice just to start with animals.
Yeah.
Once you've played it a handful, like it's always fun to kind of get everything going, but
Yeah.
it would be nice to just start with a couple.
On my Jojo runs, I don't even bother. I'm like, I don't care about the quests. I'm not getting animals. Like, I'm just gonna get money fast.
I just need to be done with this. Stupid Joja.
Yeah, new NPC dialogues and new winter outfits. So they're not going to be wearing tank tops in the middle of winter anymore. Trying to find more highlights that look exciting.
Are you going to start a new playthrough
Absolutely.
for 1.6? Okay.
I definitely am. How about you guys?
I am definitely going to play it. What I have been trying to come to grips with is I got this PC and I'm like, this is what I'm going to play all my games on now. But actually, I'm like, am I just going to play all of my short games on this PC and then play like games that like I want to pick up and play every day? I kind of want on my Switch because I will be able to bring it with me.
Yeah, you mean maybe your short games, and like if there's ever a bigger title that you want to play, it'd be better to play it on your PC probably than on Switch.
Yeah.
But all the stuff in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yes, I will. I will, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so it comes out on the 4th?
On the 4th,
That's pretty close.
I believe.
I've been, me and Jasmine have been meaning to start playing, and we kept putting it off for one reason or another. Maybe that'll be when we finally start. Though I don't know that she's going to like it. We'll see. She's not usually that patient with a game like that. So I'm hoping she can get into it, though, because I love Stardew Valley.
It draws you in because there's all these different things. It's not just a farm sim.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
There is.
If you don't want to farm, you really don't have to.
Yeah, you can just go out and like search for the mystery stuff.
Yeah. When me and my friend Keldrick were playing through it, it got to a point where I was basically taking care of the whole farm, and he was just going out. And I was like, this is a backwards relationship now. We're not even married. I'm going to visit his wife and my wife. No, I love Stardew Valley. And that dude, Eric Barone, man, he has supported this game way longer than he even needed to.
And all these big updates have been free.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But people love this game. Like, this is the perfect example of a $15, $20 game, however much it is digitally, that it's endlessly replayable. The only reason you don't play it is if you don't like farming sims. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, like, you hundreds of hours. I have this game on basically every console now. Just because I like it so much, I'm always willing to buy it again to play it again.
Yeah.
And it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
So it's also free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
May I get into my hot take?
Please do.
Absolutely.
I would love
Because
your hot take.
It features Stardew. So
Yes.
I really love Stardew.
Yes.
And so that led me to believe, like, oh, I would probably love, like, Harvest Moon. Because I didn't actually grow up with Harvest Moon. Or Story of Seasons, Rune Factory, any of that stuff. So I was like, oh, I'd probably love those. Like, that inspired Stardew. And I love Stardew. So I actually, like, have been, like, picking up and trying out, like, all the Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons games I can get my hands on. And I was like, I don't think I like farming games.
Yeah.
I don't think I like most, like, RPGs with farming mechanics. I even tried Harvestella because I like a lot of RPGs.
And they
but
have the demo that's long, so you get it's not good.
30 minutes of, like, information dump, and I'm like,
No.
I don't care about these people yet. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. So I think that's my hot take, is that
Which Harvest Moons did you play?
I played the ones that are on NSO. I got into those
So Super Nintendo and 64,
Super
right?
Nintendo and 64. I think part of what ruined it for me is that, like, you can only be a boy and you can't customize it all. And, like, when I met the NPCs, they just weren't enough. They didn't give me enough where I was like, oh, I love these people in this town. I want to get to know them. I just was like, I'm okay.
I'm going to make a suggestion.
Yes.
Because I've played most of the Harvest Moons.
I would love a suggestion.
And I agree. So I have a strong nostalgia for Harvest Moon 64, but I also can admit that it's not as good as like a lot of... It's definitely not as good as Stardew Valley, but my nostalgia for it is very strong. I think you might like more Friends of Mineral Town on Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Because you can play as a... That one... There was Friends of Mineral Town and then More Friends. That one you can play as a girl. Mm-hmm. And it has a lot of the characters from Harvest Moon 64, but there's a lot more depth and a lot more development between the characters.
Nice.
And there's a lot more to explore. It's my favorite Harvest Moon. Well, just the Friends of Mineral Town games, but that would be what I'd suggest. And the Game Boy Advance port is just the best way to play it.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
Yes.
But yeah, after that era... Some people like some of them, but I never cared for any of the other Harvest Moons after those ones. Though some like them, and I never got into Story of Seasons.
Mm-hmm. I know one of the ones I was playing was actually a remake of a Harvest Moon. I forget which one it was, and unfortunately I don't have it with me. And like I played that one a lot longer than I played any of the other farming sims that I tried to get into, but I still just was feeling a little meh. And then yeah, for my research for this episode, I was sitting down playing lots of games, and I was noticing like what games were pulling me in and what games I was just like spamming through the dialogue boxes, and then I finally get to do stuff and I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. I don't think this is for me. So that was my realization and my slight hot take is that I don't love a lot of the farming sim cozy games.
Yeah. I do think that the fact of the matter is Stardew Valley has just done it best.
Yeah.
So if you're going to compare them all, which it's kind of hard not to when you've played it, you're not going to like many others. So the only thing some of those might do for you is if you want more farming, you want more of the same idea, but you're totally done with Stardew Valley for now.
Yeah.
You might be able to go to certain ones to get that vibe. But yeah, Stardew Valley, and what we've already talked about, the fact that they just keep adding to it makes it near impossible to ever be completely done with it.
Yeah, I agree. I played Animal Crossing before I played any like Harvest Moon type games, but then I was like in the drought of cozy games that was like the early 2010s. Like I was like, farm sims are all there are, so I will play them. And I did, and I always like get to the point where I'm like, and now I have a nice thriving farm and I'm too busy to do everything and I don't want to play this anymore. The best thing about Stardew Valley is that you don't have to. It's not going to really seriously impact you unless you like need money. Like you need money for things, but you're like, I can go off and mine all day, or I can go off and do like the seeking of things to turn into the, what is it? The community center, like those kinds of things.
Lots of sub content.
Right, exactly. And I think that with like the games like Rune Factory, where I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to farm, or I don't want to go off and fight. Can't I just like talk to the villagers and that's gonna progress the story? And no. And then I was like,
you
well,
have to fight, Hannah.
Yeah. And
don't fight, Hannah, Kristine.
It's not that I don't mind fighting. It's just that it wasn't rewarding fighting. I didn't feel like I wasn't happy at the end of
like,
I wasn't happy
bad
at
take.
I wasn't happy at the end of killing these people. I was just like, gosh, there's always
These
more,
people,
aren't there?
Aren't they monsters?
They're monsters.
They're monsters, but like, you know, like
She's just killing some of the
there's
townsfolk.
just always more. You know, I love you go into a map and I've killed everything on this map. There's no more little dots. They're all gone.
You can do that.
I feel like they keep spawning back.
Sure, if you leave and come back,
There were these little magic circles, and they would just come through the little
you
holes.
destroy the magic circle, and then you're good.
You know what?
What Kristina's finding out is you played the game wrong.
Hot take: Rune Factory is maybe not good.
So, Kristine, I was going to ask at the end if there was any like cozy type games that anybody wanted to play coming up. And I'll just jump ahead and say I actually just downloaded Rune Factory 4 because I want to play it. So
Was that the one we played, or we played 5?
And we did 5.
So
Okay.
I didn't. Well, I just went through extra, and 4 was on there, and I was like, I just want to play one because I haven't played any of the Rune Factories, with the exception of a little bit of the first one.
4 is better from what I hear.
Yeah,
Than
Than
5?
5.
that's
Yeah.
what I've heard people
Well,
say.
it had
I
nothing to do
tried
with
5.
that.
I got 30 minutes in. I'm like, I'm good.
True, right?
No, I'm sorry.
The final. I'll be the final judge here.
Yes.
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 Not ignore everybody else in the world that's made 6 Rune Factories come out.
Chris is the all end of the line.
Yes.
End of the line for Rune Factory, being good or bad.
Yes.
I hope you enjoy it, Chris Perry. I enjoyed it. I feel like it is a nice middle ground for me because I'm, like I've said this before, I'm not a huge cozy game person. I like
Why
RPGs
is she here?
more.
Get out of here.
Because you keep inviting me.
She tried to say no.
So it's a nice middle ground. It gives you a little bit of cozy. It gives you like the dating sim, like the farming sim, but you still get the RPG fighting aspect to it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Christine married a boy at the end of it.
I did.
It took a long time.
Look, I discovered actually I was stupid. And that's why I failed my first proposal.
No.
It took a long time for him to love her.
No, I would have gotten it.
Guy's
I
like,
would.
no,
He wouldn't have
go away.
denied me. It's because I didn't realize that I was in the middle of a like a love quest, like a side love quest with another character. And if you are, any proposal is always gonna fail, and that's why I failed with Riker. So right, he loved me in the end. We got married.
The dialogue in that game
Oh yeah.
for the romantic side quests and for the love story is the cringiest thing I have ever seen. I think that is partially why I couldn't get through it.
I like a little cringe.
Because
It's so funny.
because like
I'm crazy cringe.
he like what were like some of the options for like nicknames, like my butterfly or like stuff like that.
So,
it was like
I-
awful.
I think the one I ended up choosing for him is like King of Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a legitimate option that you can choose. King of Hearts, my love. Like, oh, gross. So I couldn't deal with it.
I loved it.
Even like even though
even
I'm like this 2D boy, he's cute, but like I
2D boy, cute.
I can't get behind what he's saying because he's so awkward.
it's so funny though.
So yeah,
But you
Rune
you
Factory.
married James.
He has
Hannah.
never
James.
he has never once said queen of my heart, and so I've never had to deal with that cringe till now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
if he suddenly started, things might change.
Well, there you go, James. You know a good nickname for her. You can tell her you wolf her and give her the nickname Queen of Hearts.
Please don't. Yeah.
I look forward to your review of the game, Chris Perry.
I look forward to it too. I'm looking forward to playing it.
They're actually coming out with they finally have a release date for the next one that I was looking forward to.
The next Rune Factory? Mm-hmm. Oh. When's it? Do you know when it is?
Spring of 2025.
Oh, so it's pretty close.
What's it called?
Guardians of Azuma.
True or false? They're making a West and the East.
They are, and I am going to play the East.
Yes.
But they're making 2 versions of the game? Or
No.
one for
There's like
Western
Rune-
audience and one...
There's normal Rune Factory, another one, and then there's
Like the Rune Factory 6 or whatever the number is supposed to be is the normal, and then there's this one.
which is like with dragons.
Yeah. So I
In
guess in the other,
Asia-esque.
yeah,
I
and
like
the other
dragons.
Rune Factories, I guess they've kind of hinted that there is this like Eastern continent and whatnot, and that they're finally creating a game for that.
Oh, that's cool. Branching out. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't remember where we were at now. I keep losing track.
I have a game.
Go ahead, Hannah.
Okay. So this is the last game that I've been playing right now. But it's called Kamaeru Frog Refuge. And okay, I got this game. I love frogs. Don't start buying me frog stuff. Like
Too
sometimes
late. I just put it in order.
sometimes you say like I love bicycles, and then suddenly you end up with all bicycle themed things. I like frogs. Don't buy me frog stuff. But okay, so this game is like Magic School Bus, guys. It is like such a callback. I loved
Magic
computer
School
games
Bus.
when I was like, I was a 90s kid. We grew up on computer games. And you like learn about animals and stuff like that. That was like my bread and butter. I love an educational game, okay? This game, you are trying to save a wetland. And you are trying to build up its bioscore so that all the frogs and animals and plants who are native to the area will come back. And so you're like trying to unlock like the different buildings so you can like make a paper mill so you can sell more stuff at your store. And you're like trying to like make jam. It is very cute. The frogs are cute. The art style is hand drawn. It's so cute looking. Actually, it looks hand drawn. I don't know if it is hand drawn, and that might be important to some people. So I'm just saying that. But You are trying to manage endangered frogs and figuring out what they need to survive. They need different kinds of bugs. You're like, I'm going to put this pond here because it's going to make dragonflies and I want this certain frog to come. Yeah, so it's really dialing into that mid-90s TV programming like Magic School Bus and Zoboomafoo. Zoboomafoo is a great show.
Gullah Gullah Island, anybody? You guys remember Gullah Gullah Island?
I do
No.
not.
What? Thanks, Jane. I was about to say.
You also use, I think they're called punnet squares, like the things you did in school to figure out genetics. Like it's like if two people have brown hair, then your chances of having a brown-haired child are this many, right? You do that with like, you're like, this is a leopard spotted frog and it's also green, and you're like trying to play like tic-tac-toe with the computer, trying to like figure out what the frog is going to end up as you're breeding them. Yeah. So when I started this game, I was like, this game seems really niche. And then I realized I am the niche. So I was like, this game is going to be like dumb. I'm going to play it like one time and be like, why did I get this game? And then I played it a bunch and I'm like, it's super cute. And
You're
I
the
like it.
target audience.
I'm the target. I'm like, I love the wetland.
And you're right, it is hand drawn.
Nice. It's hand drawn, guys.
There you go.
It's cute. The little frogs and everything are really cute.
They're super cute. And you can name them. I've been naming all of my favorite frogs, just starting from A with cities of the world. So, yeah.
What was everybody else? Do you think you guys would play it? What was it called? Something Frog Refuge?
Yeah, just what
Kama-eru.
Kama-eru. I don't remember what it means in Japanese, but it's not frog.
Frog Rescue.
Frog refuge. A frog refuge. It means something. We don't need to talk about
We
it.
don't know what it is. Maybe it looks the graphics are really nice.
They're super nice. I like learning games.
I don't know that I like
I think you and I
learning
have very similar taste, Hannah.
Nice.
So I think I will take recommendations from you.
Please play my frog game.
Just send me a Steam link of like,
Yes.
here's all the games you should play, Jessie.
This game will teach you things. Okay.
Yay! I love to learn.
Did you ever play those old point and click learning games like Putt Putt and Spy Fox?
I didn't play
I
those.
don't know what those
but
are.
I
Freddy
played
Fish? None of them?
Freddy Fish. I
Okay.
did play.
So
yes.
Sounds familiar either.
Freddy Fish.
They were really big in the mid to late 90s,
Yeah.
maybe the early 2000s.
I had Mario Teaches Typing too.
Oh, that was I had that.
I
That
like
was
typing
cool.
games. Those are
That's
fun.
awesome.
I used to play Mavis Beacon too, where you drive in the car and if you type wrong, a bug would hit the windshield. and I was like, when I was a kid, I didn't know I couldn't like type, so it was like the windshield would just be covered in bugs.
Yeah, like Madeline.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think genuinely, like Madeline and Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, Carmen
those computer
Sandiego.
games literally are why I like to travel now. Because I'm like, wow, I want to go where Carmen Sandiego went.
Yeah, that was
Where
fun.
in the world is
Carmen
Carmen
Sandiego?
Sandiego? I liked that show. That and
Yeah.
Wishbone. I used to like Wishbone. when I
Yes,
was a
Wishbone
kid,
was
too.
good too.
All right. Well, another game I've been playing recently that I finished was Animal Well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You already finished it?
Yeah, it didn't take me too terribly long. I don't know if I'd say it was a cozy game per se. It's very aesthetic. Like I really like the art style of it. I don't know. It's not hand drawn by any means, but it's a very cool looking game. It's a Metroidvania, I guess, loosely, 'cause it's a platformer. But you're definitely exploring this giant well and trying to find hidden items and find your way around. It's basically the kind of game I like. You know, I love platformers. Metroidvanias are probably my favorite kind of platformer at that. And it's, I wouldn't say the game itself is terribly difficult as far as like the platforming and everything. Like it's pretty straightforward, but trying to find everything is a task because there is something like 64, I think, of these hidden eggs in the game. And you need to find them all to get the real ending, I think. And I think after that there's still another ending I haven't gotten. But anyway, it's a really, really good game. It's very chill. There are obviously ways that you can get attacked and die, but it's not like constant. Like you can kind of explore at your own pace a little bit. And I love a good challenge. I love having to like, I've mentioned this many times, but being able to figure out what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, and where something is hidden, and actually figuring it out makes this stupid boy feel smart, and I like that feeling.
Did you have to look up where they were?
I did at the end.
Yeah.
I got to somewhere around 55, and I was just like, okay, if I don't start looking them up, I'm never going to find them because I'm getting ready to quit. Because I'd been around the map so many times now. And I tried really hard because I wanted to find them all. But yeah, there was a couple where I was like, dang it, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
But there were a couple where I was like, I was talking to Alex about it. Because he'd played it too. I was like, there was definitely like 3 or 4 of them that I'm like, I don't think I would have ever found this. Like, I don't know that how on my own I would have ever thought to do this. So I didn't feel bad about that.
Once you knew where they were, though, you could get them pretty easily.
I could, once I knew where they were, I could access them. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't struggle with, once I looked any of them up, I didn't struggle with getting any of them.
Because like I feel like I've played not like a game exactly like Animal, but kind of like the same idea where like there's like things all around the map and like I'm trying to get them all and like collect them all. And like there's sometimes like you'll look them up and I'm like, okay, I found it. And I still can't get it. Like, it's still too hard to do the mechanic I need to be able to get that. It's, like, nearly impossible.
Yeah.
So I can never actually get the ending of this game.
I'm trying to think now, like, it didn't feel like the platforming didn't seem terribly difficult to me. But if there was any one genre I feel like I'm, like, actually really good at, it is platforming. So, like, I could be misrepresenting its difficulty in that aspect. There was only one egg that I remember actually like really struggling to get to because of the platforming. And I just had to figure out how to do it differently. But overall, like, it's a very awesome looking game. The music is nice. Like, it's a very cool game. But I will say this, like, the whole time I'm like, this is my kind of cozy. Like, because I'm not super stressed ever. Like, I'm never getting really all that agitated. But at the end of the game, all of a sudden it becomes like a horror game when like you're trying to get to the end part, you're going through kind of the final boss area. This thing is terrifying looking. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm like, what kind of haunted nightmare did this thing come out of? And it makes this terrible noise, and like the music changes and becomes all like, I don't know how to like synthy, like dark sounding. I was like, it actually raised my like anxiety a little bit, which doesn't happen. I've played some stuff that's pretty scary. Like, I was like, okay, like I can now no longer like in my right mind recommend this to somebody without saying that it has this like horror twist at the end. It's short, you know. Once you mean it might take you a few times. I did die a handful of times trying to get away from that and get to the end, but. Yeah, I was like quickly like that. Just the music alone, I was like, this is super eerie. I don't like it. Like, this game was chill up until this point. But I actually kind of like that too. I do.
Yeah, I was like, I think you actually do like it.
But it was a twist, and I didn't see it coming. I mean, it makes sense there would be a boss, but of sorts.
Yes.
But yeah, I really liked it though. I don't know. Anybody who wants to play a Metroidvania type game, I recommend giving it a try because it's definitely a slightly more unique take on the genre. It's definitely more about the collecting than the fighting aspects of a Metroidvania. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it though. It took me about a week, I think, to finish, and that was spent mostly. I did get lost a few times too, like trying to actually progress through and find my way to the next area. There's one area, I think the final area. I don't remember. Whatever. One of the areas I just could not find the entrance to. And I literally went around the map like 5 times until I finally was like, you idiot. It was right here. Like,
that was me on Tunic.
Yeah. It's so frustrating when you're like, how did you not see this? Like, and that's exactly what it was. It was just an area where I just kept skipping. I think I thought I'd been down there. Yeah. And I kept skipping it. And I just needed to go down there again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was it. I enjoyed it though. A lot.
Nice. I know James says he wants to play it at some point, so we'll see if he does.
I think he'd like it.
Yeah. Maybe he has played it. I'm sorry, James, if you have played this and I didn't realize. I apologize. Maybe you already did play it.
You can yell at her in the comments.
I'm sorry. But maybe you didn't. Maybe you just wanted to buy it. Maybe you own it and you haven't played it yet. I don't know.
Know that he's played it because I think trying to finish my thought. I think when I posted on Instagram that I finished it, he didn't say anything. And normally he would if it was something he played.
That makes sense.
I think he played it at PAX. So I remember, maybe I'm just remembering that he was excited it was coming out because he played it at PAX. But maybe...
He might have they did a limited run, did a physical version for it. He might have pre-ordered that or something too.
That also sounds like
that sounds like something James would do.
He may have even said that he pre-ordered it, and I just don't remember. But
Yeah, or maybe this is all a false memory, and
James has a
James
lot of
hates this
things.
game.
why are we talking about?
Yeah,
James
I don't
so
know
much?
because James is cozy to me. He's not.
James is a lot of things.
Cozy's not one of them.
All right. Anybody? Any other games? Somebody else want to go?
She's got some.
I've got
Jessi.
a lot, but I don't want to hog
No,
up
keep
the
going.
time. Okay. Another rapid fire is kind of just darker games that are cozy to me.
Do it.
Stray is obviously the cozy side of dark, for sure. Or the dark side of cozy. I don't know what you want to call it. The whole super on rails, so it's not even that stressful.
I loved Stray. Loved Stray. And it's a game I find myself thinking about on occasion. Not because the story itself is kind of deep, but it was such a comfortable game to me that I feel like everybody should play it.
Yeah.
And we did an episode on the Nintendo Direct when they announced it coming to the Switch, I think, officially. And nobody wanted to play it. And I was very upset because I'm like, it is a very good game. Very good game.
I'm really happy for you guys. I don't want to play it.
Dude, it is
Yeah,
so
I was
good.
surprised you didn't want to play. I was
I
like,
can't.
doesn't this seem right up your
can't-
alley?
Okay. This is a tangent. This is not a hot take. It's a hot take about a movie. Recently saw a movie I'm not going to name, not because of any bad reasons, but because of spoiler reasons. And James is like, this is right up your alley. It's a movie about lots of things that you love. And somehow being told that I would love this movie made me not love it. And then the whole time I was watching the movie, I'm like, look at all these plot holes. It's crazy. And I think that maybe if I hadn't been told going into the movie, like, this is a movie for you, Hannah, then maybe I would have liked it. And I think that every single person that's like, oh, you game, who doesn't know me, they're like, you should play Stray because it's a cat game. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to play that game.
Honestly, I think the cat model, hot take, I think the cat model's a little ugly in Stray. I'm sorry.
It's like
Everything
actually
else.
modeled off
Yes,
a real
he
cat,
does
though.
look ugly.
Everything else in the game is so beautiful, but the cat model, I'm like, he's a little janky. They could have worked on him, especially on Switch.
Is it because he's a stray? Is he meant to be ugly?
Well, he's pretty smart, though. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's just the models a little janky.
It's just a really good game.
It
And
is a
you
good
should play it.
Please stop
Are you going to play it,
pressuring
Kristine?
me.
I don't think you should play it. I think you'd hate it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Honestly,
that.
I think if you played it, you'd be stupid.
Oh, man. This is starting to...
I don't think you can finish the game, Hannah.
I think I could. I don't...
The
have
platforming is
faith.
super hard. You have to press X to jump,
Oh, man.
and it doesn't even help you.
You
Okay.
guys. Stop. Kristine, would you play?
I might. It's possibly.
You sound sure.
Wow.
Is that like 50% or is it like more like 10%? It's hard to tell.
40%.
Okay,
Christine,
okay.
I'm going to play Rune Factory for you. So, and
Fine.
that's 100% why I'm playing Rune Factory. You should play Stray for me.
Is Stray on all systems?
I think so, yeah.
It's
it on
probably
Steam?
really
It's on
cheap
Steam.
on Steam. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll put it on my list.
Yeah.
It's not a commitment. It's probably 5 or 6 hours to play through it. I played through it a couple times just because I wanted to get stuff that I missed. But I don't know. There's something about that game. Sometimes there's just something with a game or a movie that just sticks with me and I can't explain it even. And it's one of those games where I'm just like, I really liked it. It's really good.
It is $17.99 on Steam.
That's not bad.
not
I
bad.
think it's like 30 or 40 physically. So it's probably on sale at $17.99. That seems like a sale price.
I think it's its full price.
Oh.
Nice.
What do I know? Anyway, keep spitfiring or
Okay.
what's it called? Not
Rapid
spitfiring.
firing.
JK, it is on sale.
Another one. This was I think mentioned last year where somebody's just like, does Inside count as a cozy game? And I would argue yes, except for 2 parts, which I had to pass the remote and like, Jaden, you do it for me. I'm just scared.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like I do like how cozy and it's getting dark and gloomy. So I was like, oh, Jaden, we should play Inside again. It's that like gloomy time of year that I like the darker, gloomier games that are kind of cozy. I had like 2 more in mind, but I forgot and they weren't written down. But since I didn't mention this earlier, there's a little 2-player puzzle platformer called Bokura. It's on Switch, but both people have to buy it. So like 2 people have to buy it on their Switch. I think it's also on like Steam. But it's like
Oh, that looks cute.
it's really cute because both people see different things. So there's like a story that happens, and we both saw a different thing happening.
Yeah, let's do that, Christine. We can play that together.
It's slightly dark, but it's not like horrific or scary.
We love cozy horror. We love
You
it.
should try that TikToking.
Yes, you'd like that. It'd be
Okay.
fun.
But yeah, your guys' I forgot if it was the TikTok one, but one of the ones you guys mentioned last year, I was like, oh, that's like Bokura. I played that with Jaden, and I really liked it. It's slightly dark. It's really nice.
Yes, slightly dark is always good.
Yes.
A couple of the games that I'm looking forward. Okay, proviso. I don't know for sure if I'm looking forward to these games. They're not out. I do not know exactly what they are. But can I talk about my couple ones that are like
Yes.
cozy dark?
Yes, please.
Okay, and again, I don't know if I love farm sims. So if there's something and a farm sim, will that make it better, or will I just be like, God, why is it a farm sim again? I don't know. But this just came out for wish list for Steam. It's been announced forever ago. Have you guys heard of Grave Seasons?
Like Gravekeeper?
No.
Is it like a sequel? Oh.
It's not. It is a farm sim, but whenever you start a new game, which I think you start a new game somewhat regularly, a random NPC in town is assigned to be the killer.
I think I did hear about this.
And then so it's a romance sim also,
Yeah.
and so you could be romancing the killer.
Oh my goodness.
And you don't know. And so the game will end if he kills everyone in town, or if you figure out who the killer is.
Wow.
So
It's a farm sim?
yeah, and it's also like a farm sim.
That's funny.
But yeah, it seems like a good mix of cozy horror. The other one that is like it that I just heard about recently, and I don't know, I didn't write down when it's coming out. Maybe it's still in, I'm
It actually
assuming.
looks kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork looks kind of creepy good. But also another game that's kind of like it, another farm sim with romance and rabbits and stopping a town from succumbing to a plague. Yeah, these pics make it sound like I really love farm sims, but I don't know that I do. But it's called Grimshire or Grimshire. I don't know, one of them. And there are consequences. You are trying to have a farm sim, and there's a purpose for it because you don't want your town to die. They will succumb to the plague. And it looks like very like you're gathered in the center of town and mobs are forming and people are getting angry and freaked out and scared. And you're trying to you're trying to build up enough food stores for the winter so you don't actually die. And it seems like you can. And that's important to me in a game. Like, you have to be able to have consequences for your actions. If nothing bad ever happens to you, then I'm not really sure why I'm playing.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't really like...
Unless you're raising frogs.
Unless the frogs have to survive. But
Like
yeah.
how I want the goose to be tortured.
Yeah.
You want your farmer to possibly die.
Look, it's just like, why am I... Okay, like, you know in Animal Crossing you can grow crops, but there's no reason for it. Like, nobody
Yeah.
needs to eat.
Literally, I just have it to be like, there's a little.
It's just
garden.
an
It's
aesthetic.
aesthetic, right. In Studio Valley, you have it so you can have money, but it's not like you're like, if I don't have this food, everyone's going to die. In this game, they will die. So, yeah, cozy horror, guys.
Maybe it's a little bit of a god complex.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
because of your leader personality.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just need to
take
leave.
care of all
I
of
need to
these
leave
people.
these town. Yeah. So, yeah,
so
those,
motherly of you.
I guess. But I don't know. I like that idea of like something. I'm just going to stop talking now. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Yeah.
It sounds unique. I've never heard of somebody doing that before.
Yeah.
I like that idea. The serial killer one.
Yeah,
or-
honestly,
Right?
that one
one
sounds
sounds
really
pretty
interesting.
good.
Right.
Once again, I might be darker than I realized.
Yeah.
Cozy gaming is making you realize this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took cozy gaming to realize that I'm a real dark soul.
Yeah.
Any other games, you guys? Christine?
Are we talking about games we're playing still, or are we
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
think so.
Okay.
Or whatever. There's not much structure to this episode on purpose. You can talk about if you just want to talk about your life, Christine, feel free. You can do whatever you want. How's work?
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
You have more games, don't you? I feel like we're cutting you off.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
you were
you
rapid firing.
definitely have more.
Yeah.
No, I've been talking a lot, so I don't mind.
No.
We keep interrupting. You're
Yeah,
good.
we're interrupting you.
One more I've been playing again recently is Kirby's Epic Yarn. That was my first Kirby game. I know it's like really not a traditional Kirby game. It's basically like Yoshi just skinned Kirby.
Yeah.
But I was playing it again with Jaden because I'm like, it's so fun. It's co-op. You can be the little blue guy with the eyebrow. And like while playing it, I realized I was like, because I was trying to figure out like, is it just nostalgia? Is it actually a terrible game? But I think Jaden actually enjoyed playing it with me too, and like the difficulty levels up quickly. Because at first I'm like, oh, this is easy. The enemies can barely hurt you, and then I'm like. I just keep like turning into a bubble and I'm like, Jaden, you can take us up there. Like I don't think I could finish this on my own. But yeah, so I'd say Kirby's Epic Yarn is a cozy platformer too. It's very literally aesthetic. Like he's made out of yarn. It's cozy.
That's one of the earlier games I can think of too that had a unique aesthetic to it. I guess Paper Mario before that, but it's such a. I remember buying it, and once again, just to go back to my earlier point that I like a game, sometimes I'll buy a game just because it looks unique. I bought Kirby Epic Yarn. It's the first Kirby game I ever bought at launch because I was just so into the aesthetic of it. And it's definitely cozy, I would say. I haven't played it in a long time, but I remember really liking it. I like Kirby, though. Kirby's nice, relaxing platformer for the most part.
Yeah, until you get to the end.
Yeah.
The final bosses, it's always just like you are facing a world-ending force, and it's really hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Every Kirby game at the end, I'm like, I can't beat this anymore.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I need the killer from town to come and kill us.
Yes. I only play it when I really hate myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any other games, Jessi?
I think I'm running towards the end of my anything else I would want to talk about.
I have games that I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I have those too. So you share yours first, and then I'll come in with
that
mine.
Finished.
You have ones that are finished?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I finished Ori. But
Yeah. Just like, do you want to talk about it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, all right. Yeah. We don't have to move forward yet. Yeah.
No, I remember I wanted because there's 2 games and I bought them both at once, and I wanted to play the next one. I still haven't been able to because Hannah. Right when I was like, oh, I just finished Ori, I should give it a little break and then play the second one. Hannah's like, oh, you're gonna be on the podcast again, right? And I'm like, okay, I guess I have to try playing some cozy games now.
No one said you had to stop playing games.
Look, I didn't have time to do both.
Okay. Well. Now you have time.
Yeah.
Stop fighting, kids.
But no, Ori is a Metroidvania game. It was actually really fun.
Very pretty.
It's very pretty. That's why I actually was interested because I was just looking at what was on sale on the Nintendo Switch, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty. And I tried playing it, and it is stressful at times because I did die a lot. But it's very pretty, and it's aesthetically relaxing.
Yeah, that's on my list. I've never played them, and I like platformers. I like Metroidvanias, so I feel like I need to. So you didn't play the second one yet? That's what you said? Okay. Yeah. But you liked the first one enough where you're looking forward to playing
Yes. I really wanted to. I will.
Why is she looking at me like this? Like I stopped her dreams from happening. I told her that she could be on this podcast like 8 months ago, guys. Like she had time.
I got busy. But no, I'll play it.
You said that she was like, fine, I won't play Ori then.
She's like, I'm not going to play games for the next year because of you.
Hannah ruins everything.
Oh, man. No.
No, but I think you would like it. I remember when I mentioned it, like James and Alex were both like, oh, it's a great game.
Yeah. I know Alex really liked it. He's a big fan of them. I don't know that I've ever heard James talk about it, but that doesn't mean he didn't play it. James just doesn't talk sometimes. Until he's on the podcast.
James, tell us.
We're talking about James again. Screw that guy.
We're talking about you again, James. Have you played Ori? Please let us know in the comments. Thank you.
How does it feel to be so popular, James?
No, it's a good game. I would suggest you try picking it up at some point, especially because you seem to like that type of game.
Yeah, I definitely do. I need to. It's been on my list for a long time, and I'm finally starting to work through my backlog of more modern games. I still have a lot to work through my retro games, but yeah, I need to play it.
Do you have any kind of? I would like an episode where we talk about Chris's backlog and the thought process behind is it today I'm gonna play a retro game, today I'm gonna play a modern game. You should alternate. Or
I should alternate more. I was actually just thinking about that today, and this year I've done a very good job of going through actually the last couple of years, I've done a good job of going through my modern game backlog, stuff on like PS4, Switch, PS5. But I have done and I buy more retro stuff than I buy modern stuff. So I'm like, I need to start going through the backlog on that. I think I need to make that my goal to at least go through a handful of titles next year. Cause yeah, I have that. I don't write this down, but I do have like a game plan for like what I want to play next.
You don't have like a checklist of games?
I mean,
like a note on your phone?
He has like a mental checklist.
Yeah, it's just mental.
I wish you would write it down because that's...
Do you want proof that I'm doing it?
No, not like, I mean, yes, but like the completionist in me is like, complete your checklist, Chris. Yeah, I just want to see like the checks, and I want you to see how long your backlog is. I think you'd be scared maybe.
I'm not scared. I know it's long. I need another pandemic to really be able to finish my backlog. Yeah, I don't know. Before the year's over, my main goal now is I want to play Final Fantasy VI, and then if I have time, I want to work through the Shantae games because I haven't played all of them.
There's only 2 months left.
Well, they're short. That's
okay.
I'm not sure I can get through all of them, but they're pretty short, so there's a chance. Final Fantasy VI is going to take more time than those would. But I think on its own, Final Fantasy VI will take longer than the 5 Shantae games.
Okay.
So,
or you could start Ruin Factory.
It's true. I want to do that too. I have too much on my plate. I also have to play Pokemon. So
you should put them on like a randomizer app, and it'll spit one out for you to play.
Well, I'm gonna play 6 first because we're gonna do a Final Fantasy episode the beginning of next year. So I have to prioritize that. Actually, and after I'm done with that, I have to play 13. So those are the only 2 Final Fantasies I haven't played.
I guess
my list is always forever changing. I want to do certain things, but they don't always happen very quickly. That's enough about me. This podcast isn't about me. This podcast is about you guys.
This is the Chris Perry podcast, I thought.
I don't know about that.
We like to hear from you.
Oh, thanks. I guess to answer your question, at some point I do need to sit down and create like a definitive checklist of like what I want to play and how I want to work through it.
Yes. And then you should publish it so we can all see it.
How about I'll give you guys all the checklist, and then when I make a post of the games I finished, you can see if it was on there or not.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
like
can judge me accordingly.
No, wrong. Why'd you go this direction?
This game wasn't even on the checklist.
Why did you do this?
I know,
like a Chris Perry bingo game.
Yeah. If I had done a checklist at the beginning of the year, things like Animal Well wouldn't have been on there. So it came out this year, but I didn't know about it. I mean, I didn't know it was coming. I knew nothing about it till 6 months ago.
It's true.
So I'd make those small deviations sometimes. But that's the thing for the podcast. I do deviate sometimes according to the episodes coming up.
Yeah, that's
fair.
true.
So, but that's situational. So I tried to play cozy games for this, but other than... And I played Animal Well and Plucky Squire. And as I'm playing, I'm like, these aren't all that cozy. Like, they maybe fall close to cozy, but...
It's okay.
They're not
We appreciate your effort.
Sorry.
Thank you. I dropped my Waddle Dee again.
Jessi was especially invested in you playing cozy games since she was invited to be on this podcast like 4 days ago.
You let me down.
I am so disappointed. Did you not see my list?
You didn't play enough Pressure Washer Simulator.
Oh, I know. I actually want to go back to Pressure Washer Simulator because they just added Shrek
I know,
DLC.
I saw that. I was like, Chris must be excited.
Yeah.
I love that game. That game is epitome of cozy for me.
Yeah, definitely. Doing little tasks.
The only other game that I played recently that is not cozy, but I will mention, is I got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, which is what I'm going to play through 6 on. But I was like, I haven't played through Final Fantasy 1 in a long time, the OG. So I was like, I'll play through that real quick. Because I was like, this game was short. The game is not as short as I remember. It's actually kind of grindy and long. But it's fun. It's such a, to me, the original Final Fantasy is just such a nice look back at, where the series started and how far it's come. But if anybody wants to play this game and you play it on this Pixel Remaster... Something that I did not realize until literally the end of the game is all you have to do is click down on the right thumbstick and you can turn off random battles. And that would have saved me probably a good solid 5 hours. because leaving a dungeon and having to trek back all the way out and running into random battles nonstop is extremely irritating when you're over leveled already and they mean nothing. They can't kill you and you get no experience from it. If I would have just known that all I had to do was turn off random battles, I would have saved myself a lot of time.
Yeah.
That was very frustrating to be like, I probably could have just looked at the manual, or not the manual, but like they show you a controller like thing, but I just skip past it.
Yeah, you ignore that stuff. You're like, I know this.
I know how to play video games. Do you not know who I am?
This is the Chris Perry podcast.
This is who I am. I am X Button Gaming. But yeah, Final Fantasy 1. Good times. I don't know who I recommend it to, though. Because
Parents and children.
Yeah, if you got kids, if you want to raise your kids right, start them with Final Fantasy 1.
Every
That's
game on
what's
this
wrong with me.
list.
I never played Final Fantasy.
Sorry.
They're pretty.
Your parents failed you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
My parents failed me. I didn't play it until I was an adult. Yeah, so that
You
was
look
it
like
for
you're
what I
thinking,
played.
Christine.
What are you
I
thinking
was
about?
not.
Oh, okay, sorry. You looked like you're like, oh, I've got one. Sorry, I made the assumption.
No, you're good.
All right, any other games that you've been playing?
Speaking of RPGs, I have been trying to play Golden Sun on
I love
NSO
Golden Sun.
because I love Camelot, Mario Tennis,
Mm-hmm.
and the style of it just immediately is nostalgic because like the text sounds are the same, the little like emojis are the same, and like
Sprites
the
are
pixel art,
similar too, right?
Yeah, the sprites are really similar. But I think the main thing that keeps annoying me is the random battles because I'm like trying to figure out where the heck I'm going. I was not paying attention when they were telling me in the dialogue, so I'm just like wandering out into this open world now with no idea where I'm going. And I keep getting into so many random battles, but I have the bad habit where I always try to run away. So I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to just be like, I'm gonna do all the random battles now so that I don't have to grind later because I hate grinding in games. But
Yeah, you can that game. You can pretty easily get over leveled for the final boss.
Okay.
By
I will
getting
run
lost
away
a
then.
couple times. Yeah, it's probably
You convinced her.
it's probably not
give
too
in.
bad. The second one is harder as far as like pacing goes. But yeah, I love Golden Sun. But just in general, I was just talking to somebody about this today, and one thing that has gotten better in RPGs is the speed of battles and like random battles not being random as much. Now, in most games they show up on the map so you can choose. I think that's one of the best things they've done because as I've gotten older and I have less time and sometimes less patience, going back to older RPGs and having to deal with random battles has become a point of contention sometimes. I'm like, God, it's so irritating. I just want to get to the next city.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and they've definitely made that better. But I hope you like Golden Sun.
so far I do. I don't actually know. I could check how far. No, I can't check how far I'm into it. But I'd say I already did like the part where you go to this area and you're getting like the 4 things from the corners and then everything crashes down. I'm already past that and now I'm into the main field area. So I'm liking it a lot so far. I think I'll keep up with it. I probably won't
love the
drop
music.
it. But yeah. The music's really nice.
It's not, the first one's not too terribly long either.
Okay, that's good.
The second one is much longer. At least if memory serves me. But I love Golden Sun like a lot.
Nice. I'm enjoying it so far too.
Good.
I like turn-based RPGs. That's what I've discovered with a really at least a captivating enough story to where I'm like, oh no, I hope I can save her brother. Let's go.
You like turn-based RPGs, huh?
I sure
You should play Final Fantasy 7.
I will try it.
It's on Switch, and
Okay.
you can speed it up.
That sounds great.
You can do they have like options so you can speed up battles so they don't take as long. You can even turn off battles in that one too.
Is Three Houses turn-based RPG?
It's a strategy RPG, like a tactical, so it's grid based. So
Oh,
you move
good.
your character
I
around.
don't like
It's very-
I don't
it's
like
very-
turn-based RPGs.
It's slow and you can think. It's more like chess. So you can stop and think about how you want things to play out.
Yes.
Are you gonna play it on the hard mode? So when your characters die, they die. Forever?
No.
That's real funny, Chris Perry.
Absolutely not.
I don't play Fire Emblem like that either. It's too much work for me.
I need to play it so that don't stop in the middle and Kristine doesn't come on this podcast next year and be like, Hannah stopped after 5 hours and I finished the whole game
6 times. So to be fair, there are 4 different stories you can get in this game. There's 4 different paths you can pick.
I think we should start on the same path so we can be able to talk about it.
That's fair. Okay.
But I hear that there's like 40 romanceable characters, which is
There's a
what
lot.
I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like a good romanceable character.
Me too. Me too. Speaking of romanceable characters, this is a great segue into a game that I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
What's it called?
It is called Date Everything.
Oh, it's the one where you...
That's on my list.
You guys are weird.
So it was actually supposed to come out like this month, and then I just checked again yesterday to see like, oh, it's coming out this month. It's coming out Valentine's Day now. It is a
Game
dating
made for
sim
lovers.
where you put on some glasses and now suddenly everything in your house is dateable. From like your vacuum cleaner and your bed to a sense of existential dread. All the characters look super hot and are fully voiced, and I've never actually played a romance sim before, so I'm really excited to play this game.
Going to Hannah's house after playing this game would be very
Like,
strange.
wow, that refrigerator is looking good.
The TV is so fine.
Yeah, I'm excited for how
As long as he
creative-
doesn't call you Queen of Hearts.
Right. Yeah. If there are no cringy nicknames, I'll be in.
Look,
So
it's pretty great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Christine's into the cringe. So yeah.
Christine.
She does call me cringy.
Yeah, cringy. It's so great. Her middle name is Minji, so it's Chris Minji Cringy. Oh, it's great. It's the perfect
Yeah.
nickname for
I've
her.
adopted it. Be my gaming handle.
At this
for
point,
Sam
I
now.
am just cringy.
So yeah, that's a game that I had. I'd like to pass the mic now to someone else.
Well, as far as somewhat cozy games, I do have a couple that I have on my list that I didn't get to that I want to play. At least I think it's cozy, and one is Dave the Diver. It's very. It just seems really weird.
Yeah.
and I like that aspect of it. Like it seems like you're building a town while you also go and dive and find stuff like in the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw it when I'd heard of it and I paid no attention, but then I saw somebody do a quick review of it and I was like, game sounds really weird. And really weird usually appeals to me because I like it when people do something different. So I want to play that. Rune Factory, like I mentioned, and there was another one. I can't remember, so I'll let somebody else take it while I think about what the heck it was.
I know that at PAX I got to try Cuisinier. And that one was on my list from the Indie Direct. It was not quite what I was expecting, but I think I'd be interested to play if it's depending on the cost, because I don't think it would.
Can you explain what type of game it is?
From what I remember, it is you're playing like this little person who's. What was the game?
She was like
You're like it. You're
she
running
was like-
around. You're like it's a fighting and cooking
like
combination.
fetch quest
Yeah.
/ fighting
So like you
with cooking.
have to take over this restaurant.
Was there cooking mechanics? I'm sure
Barely.
there is. If it's a game called Cuisinier,
Like
I assume there's cooking mechanics.
in the demo, I don't feel like there was like a whole lot like of
It was the demo.
difficult.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a demo. Yeah, maybe there's more eventually, but the main thing that you got to demo was running around into this area where you're supposed to gather the ingredients, and you have a giant spatula that's your weapon, and you're just smacking all the chickens and like the fields to try to get all your ingredients. And Hannah's like, "Why are you enjoying killing the chickens so much?"
Why are you enjoying? Yeah, it's just
It's just
You're
really
sick, Christine.
and like you use the different little combos, and you're like, it's just a lot of fun. I don't know.
yeah.
That was my favorite part. That's Hannah's least favorite part while she was watching me play.
You know, it's if it appeals to you, it's okay. Any kind of game that will make you play is good.
Yeah. Well, that one looked pretty fun. What else was there?
Do you have one, Jessi? Do you want to go?
Yes. And,
Please go.
I will share some backstory. So I'm not a Lord of the Rings girl, but when they announced the Hobbit game, the Shire game, I was so excited. I'm like, dude, I would love to be a little hobbit on a farm. And then the trailer came out, and I was like, I I don't want to play that game.
Right,
look
right.
the way you want.
It looks so
Sorry.
dumb, right?
I don't.
Yes,
I'm not
I have.
into
I have
this.
thoughts about this game. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I'm gonna share.
Oh,
That's
I'm
as
glad
far as
you
I'm gonna
brought
go.
that up,
But instead, and unfortunately, this game is still in development, and I have
Mm.
no idea when it's gonna come out. And it's probably gonna be a like what you were mentioning earlier, how it's like released in like early and beta, but it's called Humblets, and it's like this cute chibi round style, and you can be like little like hobbits or elves, and there's gonna be like romance and dating. It's
Cute.
so beautiful looking, and I like joined the Discord just so I can see like the little updates
Yeah.
of what it's gonna look like. So I am excited for Humblets. I think it'll be a cute game if it ever comes out.
Yeah. I hope for your sake it comes out soon.
I hope so one day.
Yeah. The Tales of the Shire game, man, like I want to support them. I am a Lord of the Rings girl, and I'm just like, but I'm like burned out on this type of game. Like there isn't enough like these other farm sims that I'm telling you about. Like I'm like there's like this like weird extra. Even Stardew Valley, there's a weird extra thing going on behind the scenes. You're like there's a story to uncover here.
Yeah.
With the hobby games, I'm like there's no story. I don't really get it. I did watch, there was like an update. I don't know if seems like you watched the first trailer and were like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I want to give this another try. I watched, there was like a special like Tales of the Shire live stream direct. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
And I like, there was like things that seemed really cool. Like the rooms are round because Hobbit houses are round.
Yeah.
So all of the furniture doesn't go on a grid. You can put it anywhere in the room. And I'm like, that is so smart. I wish everyone did that.
Oh, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing is like, it's not level. It's like, it's over a little bit. Yeah. I also like that all of the recipes for cooking things are from actual old English cookbooks. Super cute. Has it sold me though? No.
Is
And
it just the graphics that
the graphics, the graphics are ugly. Yeah.
It could be, but I think it was maybe like seeing the little amount of mechanics they showed. I'm like, that's not gonna make up for what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was more excited. And then I saw the more reality, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe if I saw somebody playing it, I could get over it, because I've played ugly games before. But
But when you're playing a game and the whole point is like, this
The
is an aesthetic game.
Yeah.
And it's
it's not.
ugly.
That's true.
Look, again, I would just like to say, not that the devs of this game would ever listen to me say this. I appreciate your hard work, and I am so glad that you put your heart and soul into this
Yes.
game, and I wish that I wanted to play it, but I don't. Make an elf game instead. I will be so
yes.
in. Make
Oh,
an...
that's different though, because you guys are a bunch of pervs and the elves are hot.
Look, just because we want to date everything.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, make an elf dating sim and I'm in. But Mew, you're right. If you could date the hobbits, I don't know. But
Do you want to date those hobbits?
you know what? I want to date the refrigerator in that other game.
Look,
So I
refrigerator could
mean,
look
like,
Hannah's love knows no bounds.
I'm interested in all things. But yeah. Anyway, I don't want to play it. I just wanted to talk about the fact that I don't want to play it. And there's a reason. So yeah. Chris?
We've learned a lot about Hannah today.
All good things.
Yeah, all good. So the other game that I was thinking of that I couldn't remember, I don't know if you guys have even heard of it, but I saw it and I'd heard of it, but I forgot it existed. It's Bee Simulator. I feel like it's a
What?
cozy game.
What?
And you literally play as a bee
What?
and you explore a world that's based off of Central Park, I guess.
That is so cozy.
And yeah, you go around, you gather pollen, you can do bee races with other bees.
Wow.
And I was just like, this game looks super weird.
Do you get to
And-
build a hive?
I don't know. I didn't look that far, but
Oh.
it's a very pretty looking game.
This feels a lot like a frog refuge.
Wow. Are you into bees now? Can I buy you bee related
Please
items?
don't buy me bee stuff. I don't want it.
But you can play the game co-op too, which not that I have anybody to play with. I mean, Jasmine may play with me. I don't know, but it just looks cool. I don't know. I like weird things. Like I like to try new things when they're a weird concept. And Bee Simulator is super. out there.
What is
I
it
love
for?
Goat Simulator, so I
think it's
think
on
I'd
everything.
enjoy Bee Simulator.
Anything that has
Can I
an-
sting people?
anything that has like
Hopefully.
a weird thing in front of it and simulator.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm in.
There was a game on PS2 called Mr. Mosquito where you played as a mosquito, and your whole thing was you would go around that you're in some family's house in Japan, and you just terrorized the family. all for like
That sounds a lot like Goose Game.
Yeah, it's probably somewhat that may have been where they got their inspiration from, because it's what you're just flying around and you try to land on them and suck their blood before they can smack you. Like it's funny. I've never actually played it, but it's on my list of games
That
to play
sounds
eventually.
right up your alley. The chaos.
Yeah, it's super weird. But that's pretty much it for what I wanted to play. What about you guys?
What was? It's more what you wanted to play. Never mind. I'll leave it alone.
What?
No.
What?
It's
I
the
don't-
mouse game that you
Oh.
tested.
Yes, I want to talk about the mouse game.
Yes, talk about it.
Okay. I played this at PAX. I met the dev. Super cute. For an old
The
guy.
game.
Yeah. He had an accent. It was nice talking to him. But as I was struggling, the reason I'm saying it was a cute experience because I was struggling through a certain part of the game, and he literally stopped me and he's like, everyone is struggling with this part, and we're literally going to go fix this in the game. Like, having everyone play this at PAX has made us realize that it's not working.
Yeah.
So we're going to fix this. And I was like, wow, that's super awesome.
Look
Like,
what I've done.
yeah, it was like really cool.
I helped fix this game.
But this is another one of those games where it's like, is it cozy if you're gonna die? But yeah, I think so.
I think death is cozy.
Death is super cozy. So you're playing as a mouse, trying to survive in the winter all alone. You're trying to find other people. You're trying to find food. You're trying to not freeze to death. And if you're outside for too long, you will start to freeze to death. And I never actually did die, but it's because I freaked out and got back to the little mouse hole.
Ain't gonna die.
So, yeah, but I think maybe all my games are slightly cozy horror, but it's the season, so.
We know what Hannah likes. She likes to date anything and some cozy horror.
And in case it's called what was it? Wintersboro?
Wintersboro,
Is
and
that-
it's out
did that-
next year.
Is that the one that was on the Xbox Direct during
Yes,
the summer?
Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
It's
remember thinking
coming
that looked good.
Xbox and Steam only.
Yeah.
So inaccessible to me. But one day. You'll just have to tell me how it is.
It looked cute, and I hope that it's long enough. We'll find out. But yeah,
You can be Christine's test subject on whether or not she'll play it by how long it is.
I hope she will. I hope she will. If you have childhood memories of Redwall, I think this is a game for you.
Yeah, my childhood memories of Redwall was just in reading the series.
Well, dang.
Did he read it to you, or you just
I just
That would have been so cute.
Absolutely not.
Oh, well. Too bad. Anyway,
On that
Jessie?
These games are already out, but some games that I was gonna try to play before this was Bear and Breakfast. It looks really cute.
It does look really cute. I haven't played it.
Like I'm not sure if I'll enjoy it because when it comes to playing The Sims, I don't even build their houses. I just pick a default house and I like building the people. But Bear and Breakfast
Yeah.
looks like it's all just building the house and building all the interior. I don't know if there's stuff beyond that because when I was watching the trailer, it mainly just looks like you're building the bed and breakfast. So that one looks really cute. I haven't tried it. I
It does look really
wanted
cute.
to, but
Yeah.
and then Little Gator, that one looked cute.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, I've seen it. I remember thinking it looked really
for-
cute too.
Get what it's about, but you guys should look it up. It looks cute. And then another game that I don't know if this is cozy or not, but a game that I feel like keeps coming up and I'm like, oh, I feel like I might like that is No Man's Sky.
Oh, uh-huh.
I feel like I would enjoy it.
Yeah,
And I would like to pick it up.
that is
sometime.
one of those games that people get invested in and play forever because it's just got so much to do.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've never played it, but I definitely have some friends on my PSN that I see playing it all the time for years now. So, yeah, I know it's just an exploration game, right?
And I like exploring.
Yeah, so but there's so much to explore. It's basically endless. So, yeah, it seems like if that's the kind of game you like, it's right up. It's perfect because you can keep going back to it.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you guys know how I like it if I get it.
Yeah, I like to hear.
Yes, do. I have another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, this game is coming out on PC. It's called Undusted. And I think this is a game where you clean dirty objects and discover their history at the same time. And my hope for it is it's more like Power Wash Simulator mixed with Antique Roadshow than weird narration game about grandma's objects. But if I had to guess, I'm guessing it's going to be grandma's objects. And I hope not. I hope you can turn off the narration at that point and just clean the objects. 'Cause I really just want to clean objects and be like, wow, this is from ancient Egypt. That's what I'm really hoping for here. Yeah, the same kind of thing happened to me at PAX. I played this game called Widow that I've been looking forward to for a while. And it's like, what I thought it was shaping wood and painting wood. And what it really was point and click, putting blocks into puzzle areas. And then while they're talking over you, being like, when I was a young girl, my first love bought me this little duck. And it's like in this like weird little like jaunty like happy voice like this, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to take these headphones off right now. Like, I don't care about your weird love story. I just wanted to build some like wood stuff. And so yeah, I'm really hoping that this is Power Wash Simulator Antique Roadshow, and that's what I want. Devs, listen to me.
Power Wash Simulator is great.
Yeah.
And you know what? Antique Roadshow is pretty fun sometimes.
Right.
So that sounds like a good combination.
I hope so.
I hope so for you.
Thank you.
Because more Power Wash Simulator is never a bad thing.
Right. Yeah. Anything else?
Honestly, I don't remember too much about it, but I have Critter Cafe listed.
I think that actually comes out like this month.
Yeah, makes sense. I didn't put like a date, so I imagine that meant it was coming out really soon. It looked like it would be cute, like running a cafe with cute little animals.
With like zoo mechanics.
Yeah.
Do you like Zoo Tycoon?
I never played it.
You never played any Tycoon game?
No.
Wow.
An anomaly.
Interesting. Well, maybe you'd like it. Do you like management sim games? You sound sure. Is that like a 40% again, or?
I don't know if I have that much experience with that type of game.
Well, I think then if you don't, you should try it.
Yeah, it looked like it'd be cute.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sounds cute. Critter Cafe.
Zoo Cafe. Yeah, it definitely comes out this month because I saw a Cozy Creator post about games coming out this month, and it was on there.
Yeah. And then there's always, Zelda. Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
We got to test that at PAX. Honestly, I wasn't interested in the game when I saw... my interest is very limited when I saw it on the Direct.
Less than 40%?
Less than 40%. It's probably like 20-30%.
Okay.
But playing it at PAX, I was like, oh, actually, this isn't that bad. So it's gone up to like 60%.
Oh,
Okay,
dang.
nice.
We broke the 50%
Nice.
mark.
Yeah, I did.
More than doubled.
Yeah. So I'd be willing to play that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm planning on playing that at some point.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I'll play it probably within next year. I'll make sure to have it on my checklist.
Thank you. I know James has played it, and he liked it.
You finished it?
I don't know about that. James, please weigh in.
I know I saw it because when I was in Korea, I went to the mall, like a big mall, and they had a section for Nintendo, and it was like everywhere. And I was like, oh, I could pick up a copy, but it's in Korean, so.
You speak Korean.
Yeah, but I don't want to play a whole game in it.
Oh, well, I guess.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
It would have been cheaper, so there's that, but.
Yeah. Well, you can buy it here.
That's
It could be
true.
your very first physical purchase.
Yeah. Then
Wow.
other people can play it. They
Yeah.
can borrow it.
Yeah.
Wow, Kristine, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started it. I have not played as much as Jaden did. But I started it before this podcast, and I was like, this is not cozy for me, so I'm going to finish this later. I think so far I definitely like it a bit more than Link's Awakening, but I also haven't gotten to the dungeons yet, so I cannot report back.
Well, I'd be interested to see what you think.
Yes, I will let you know.
Thank
Did
you.
Jaden finish it yet?
No, he has not yet.
Get on that, Jaden.
Yeah.
He fell asleep. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on for hours about the things I plan on playing. That's not fun for anybody, though.
I think I have reached the end of... Oh, wait. I found another one. Do you like Animal Crossing? Do you like Sims? Do you wish Animal Crossing characters spoke Simlish? have I got the game for you. The My Sims re-release that's coming out next month.
I know, I want to play it. I want to play it.
Yes, it is really a lot like Animal Crossing New Horizons, but with fetch quests and building mechanics. So go have fun, guys. It's fun. I've played both of them.
Are you not going to get it?
I probably will get it. I will probably play it. I don't know if I'll finish it again, but I will probably play it again just because I like the characters and I like how they talk.
I did not realize that. So that game came out at that time where I was like, I was not going to play it probably. I was already working at GameStop, so I'm like 19, 20. So I knew it existed, but it always went under my radar. I didn't realize how much of an impact that game had on like the very specific age group. Like there's a lot of YouTubers that I watch that are really into the fact that that game's getting remade, like a lot.
I'm glad to hear that because genuinely, I thought it was just me and my sister. So
No, I was surprised by how many. Well, just because I watch a lot of girl YouTubers as well, and there's a lot of them more so than the guys that would talk about My Sims a lot as one of those games that they loved from their childhood. So when that remake got announced, my YouTube feed was like filled with My Sims remake. So excited! I was like, that's crazy. Like there's a lot of people looking forward to this.
I think that they're both coming like on the same. They're coming together, right? It's like a package, so. My Sims and My Sims Kingdom. But if you had a choice, if you could only play one, I think My Sims Kingdom is better.
Okay.
In case you're interested.
The medieval skin.
It's just a skin, over it. But I think it's cooler. I can't explain why.
There are swords.
Yeah.
And hopefully wizards.
And pigeons.
There's wow. Wow. There are pigeons in the kingdom. Let's go. Sold.
Yeah. So, yep. Those are all the games that I'm looking
Animal
forward
Crossing
to.
and Sims. There you have it.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, Jessi, any more?
I don't think I have any more I'm looking forward to, no.
Okay. Kristine?
I really don't have any notes on them. I just have names. But I have like Fantasian Neo Dimension and Phantom Brave, The Last Hero.
I'm excited for Fantasian as well. That's the not Nobuyo Uematsu. It's whatever. It's Final Fantasy guys.
Yes. Oh, is that the one where you could? Because I've watched so many directs in a row. Mm-hmm. Is that the one where you were able to, like, put off battles?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. That's the one I was interested in. Hannah was like, no.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a Hanna game. Phantom Brave, I just don't know anything
We
about.
all know what kind of games Hannah likes.
Can you date a refrigerator in it? Are there elves? She's out.
Is it scary?
You guys. This is making me sound like a real weirdo.
Yeah, no, I thought that the game looked really interesting. I'm pretty excited.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Now that I remember what it is.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm genuinely happy for you.
Yeah. And then Deer and the Boy. I don't know what that game honestly is about too much. The aesthetic was very pretty. It reminded me of Ori. Very glowy.
Is A Deer and the Boy the new... No. There's another... I know exactly what it is. Remember the game that came out and it was like all black and white? It's like the same exact... I shouldn't start talking. I don't have enough to back up what I'm saying.
Are you thinking of Blanc?
Yes, it's the same people that made Blanc.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, A Deer and the Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I know more about... I'm glad that you just like said these names hoping that we would know what they are.
I'm really glad you know what they are because I watched so many directs and I just wrote titles and I'm like, yeah, that seems interesting. And I didn't do any further research.
Okay.
This deer is fearsome in this picture. He's got glowing antlers. That is some deer. Oh dear. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on, talking about some cozy games, talking about some dating games, wishing for some elf games. No, I appreciate it. This was we should have done this episode over a month ago, and I apologize for having to put it off. But I'm glad that we could do it. I'm glad that you could join us, Jessi.
Yeah.
We'll probably just make this a regular thing every year during cozy time to have a nice cozy themed episode, whether it be about specific games coming out or just what we've been playing. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. But this time of year is perfect for that. Probably would have been better if we made it in September like we planned. But it's still cozy season.
Yeah.
It's still cold outside.
Especially in Washington, cozy season goes for another 3 months at least.
Cozy season goes till May.
We got time to be cozy.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to say before we sign off? Any socials you want to promote?
No, please don't follow my socials.
If you guys have any autumnal DIYs in Animal Crossing, please share them with me.
Oh my gosh, I have been grinding them
I
for you.
probably
I really
have.
actually have. I've been sitting on the beaches and just waiting for balloons and then popping them, but every single time I go to look at them, I don't have them either. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to give them to her because I don't have it either. So
No, I'll just bring the supplies and have you make them for me.
Okay, yes, I've got lots then. I will send you my list of things that I have.
Perfect.
I'll
Okay.
add you on.
Thank
it and
you.
see what I have.
Awesome. I made it my goal this year. I was like, I need all the mushroom stuff and all the fall leaf stuff. I have to
Yes,
get it.
They're so
Yeah.
cute.
The fall ones and the winter ones, I think, are the ones I have the least of.
And I'm still honestly grinding, like time traveling to get my museum done. And I still am, I have literally like gone like 2 months of every single day checking in, like in fake time, not in real time, going in and like going out to go to Reds. And I have gotten 0 new paintings.
Oh, God.
And
That's right.
at this point, I'm like, there's certain paintings I've genuinely never even seen before, not even fake.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even know how I can get these. So
It's hard.
if anybody does have a done museum and has some extra paintings lying around, I would love them, or at least hit me up on the Discord, please, because man, I want this thing done.
Yeah, I can look. I don't know that I have many saved paintings, but I can double check and see what I have.
Please,
Somebody like Darren would probably be a good one
please.
to possibly have some. But I'm glad you said that because I was getting ready to sign off and almost forgot about the fact that I asked a question on the Discord.
Question.
And then you bringing up Animal Crossing reminded me. So I did ask on the Discord, what's your favorite go-to cozy or comfort game? We got a few responses. So Desart7, so Darren, who we just mentioned, said Animal Crossing New Horizons. When I'm not playing Pokemon or another RPG, I like to boot up Animal Crossing and return to Numenor, the Isle of Men. Is that a reference to something?
It's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. See, I'm not a Lord of the Rings girl. I enjoy the movies enough, but I don't know much about anything outside of what I've seen in the movies the 3 times I've seen them. Then Connor Snow said Terraria. I think I put almost 500 hours of playtime
wow.
within the first month of buying it.
Wow.
Dude, I've never played Terraria, but when people like Terraria, they like Terraria. And then Fresh Prince 253 said Stardew Valley, and he shared a chicken gif of it just bouncing there. Then Qui-Gon Jimmy, being talked about again, said coffee
he
talk.
was here.
Yeah, he wants to be in spirit. He's here. He said coffee talk for sure. It takes place in an alternate Seattle where races like elves and orcs share the world with humans. You own a coffee shop, take orders, and talk to people. And vent about their lives. So it's a visual novel. It also has cool diverging conversation paths and dreamy lo-fi beats. Free on Game Pass and cheap on Switch. And then he did the salute emoji, which salute. Then Kligaman said a short hike and Nintendogs. Nintendogs is interesting. I haven't heard anybody talk about Nintendogs in a while.
It's on the music app.
I know.
Nintendogs is on the
I
music app.
listened to it in my car yesterday. I was
Download
like,
the music app. I like literally listened to 4 hours of KK songs yesterday. I was like, this is the best ever.
I quite literally put the Wii, just the Wii main menu,
Oh,
just
that's
like
so
sound
cozy.
effect on, and just let it play for a while I was working. I'm like, it's nice. And then I put on Dr. Mario because those songs are my jam. Then Wasiji Jaden said for cozy it's Minecraft and Pikmin, and for comfort it's Tricky, which I believe is SSX Tricky, and Tony Hawk Underground.
I
So,
can confirm. And every other day he'll boot up either SSX
he's awake.
or Tony Hawk. I can like read his vibes. Like, oh, he's in an SSX mood.
Is he
Oh,
wearing
he's in a
a
Tony Hawk
beanie or-
mood. he'll go between those.
He walks out of the room with either a snowboard or a skateboard.
Yeah.
I
It
know what I'm
becomes
gonna play
cozy to
today.
me. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna chill while he plays
Dude,
these.
especially the music.
Mm-hmm.
So good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and close off. So thank you guys for joining. It was fun. It's nice to... I'm glad you guys were prepared because it's nice to not have to talk so much sometimes. And today was one of those days where I wasn't as mentally prepared to talk as much. So you guys did good, and I appreciate you. And for those listening, if you want to chime in with any thoughts on the episode, any cozy games that you like playing that weren't mentioned and you want to suggest them, make sure that you come on the Discord and mention it there. If you're not already on the Discord, you can join it through a link on Instagram, the X Button Gaming Instagram. And also, I am trying to be more active on posting YouTube videos. I have another one that, thanks to my friend Jaden, helping me edit it, I will have posted probably in the next day or so. So if you haven't, check out the videos there. Like and subscribe. It helps me out. And hopefully you enjoy them. I feel real stupid posting myself still. Like, my voice was one thing, my face is another. Like, I'm having to come to terms with putting myself out there like that. But yeah, if you haven't, please do check it out. I would appreciate it. And even if you don't like it, just subscribe. I still appreciate that. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Any last thoughts?
No.
All right. They're all saying no. So once again, thank you, everybody. And remember to always press X to continue.
I've got my eye. I've got my eye. I've got my eye on you.